want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football. If you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football.
Jets, Jets. The 2026 NFL Draft is complete. Ladies and gentlemen, we are firing up the 2027 mock drafts. Let's go. Not yet. We got competitive football to get to, baby. We're going to get into the draft. I got a couple guests lined up. I hope you guys enjoyed the program tonight. Getting some different voices in the pipeline here for you guys to hear. We got almost 50 of you here in the show already. I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else to say. I think the New York Jets did a fantastic job of getting high-end talent. I can't say that enough. When you look at what they did at the top of this draft, how they maneuvered, and then how they addressed some guys that they think they can fit into their schemes later on, I think overall it's a good draft. It's got very good potential. We'll say that, right? The potential is there for this to be a draft class that doesn't just get thrown to the gutter. We've had those in the past. If you're watching over on X, thank you. Come on over to YouTube, subscribe to the Nick Shine Show. We're trying to get big numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we got a couple guests lined up, but you know what we do in the beginning here. If you are a channel member, hit the Blitz BK emoji.
It's got beef.
Gentry covering the football.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
You're a backup, Mo Dean. Why don't you back up into your boyfriend? How about that, Mo? I'm kidding. I don't know where that came from. I apologize. I've been hacked. Isn't that what they say? I was hacked. I'm sorry. That wasn't me. Folks, here's what we got. You have me on very little sleep the last couple of days. We just took a 45-minute power nap. I am ready to go. 24-hour stream. Let J3 siblings know it's in the works. We're going to do it, baby. Oh, that's what you do, man. You say something you shouldn't. Oh, I've been hacked. Oh, you just said it out loud. No. AI. Gator hacked. AI. Gator said it. Wasn't me. All right. Here's what we got going on. Like I said, I got a couple guests coming on in a few minutes. We got one guest coming on 8:30. I got one guest coming on at 9 o'clock. 9:30. It's your time to shine. What do we do at that time, folks? I'll tell you. We make the call line shine. Shout out to Addy. I love that. Although that picture, I don't. I'm chiseled now, man. I got the jawline. All right, let's get into this. We have some signings going on right now. So I'll start with the newest news first. Jets signed wide receiver DT Sheffield from Rutgers, local guy. Antoine Staley tweeted, Sheffield is an explosive slot receiver with elite speed and athleticism. So they add another wide receiver, undrafted, and also, for those of you who wanted a kicker, Will Ferrin, not Will Ferrell, Will Ferrin from BYU. So, kicker from BYU, Diana Rossini wants to be an NFL reporter. BYU guys can have multiple wives. It all goes back to her, ladies and gentlemen, as always. So those are the two undrafted free agents I've seen so far. Rich Cimini says we are signing running back Chip Trianoman of Toledo. Rushed for 1,015 yards, 12 touchdowns last season. Also played for Arizona State, Ohio State, and Kentucky. He's 24 years old. So, former Louisville wide receiver Callan Lacey is also signing with the Jets. So those are the only four undrafted free agents I see right now following the Jets beats writers on Twitter. Also, hey, Boston Red Sox, go fire your coach before April's even over. That's New York Jet behavior. You're a scumbag franchise. I'm not allowed to take power naps. I wake up feisty and animated. I apologize, guys. If you're a Boston Red Sox fan, too bad. Your coach is fired. You suck. You are cursed. And if you watch wrestling, Danhausen is my favorite thing in the world right now. So like I told you guys, my YouTube algorithm is Jets, NFL draft, sobriety, and Danhausen. That's it. That's everything. All right. My first guest is here, ladies and gentlemen. His first time on the show was a week or two ago, last Sunday, I believe. And now he's back. Let's bring in Paul Fiore. Paul, how are you, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, Nick? How are you?
You tell me, man.
I mean,
you tell me. What's your thoughts, bro? How was the week for you with the draft?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I thought back to our discussion, and it actually played out really similarly to what I was hoping for in a lot of ways. I mean, it's interesting because in the grand scheme of things, the Jets took one guy that I actually really wanted from the, just in general, right? When you think about who, we do a million mock drafts. Sadiq was one guy that I really wanted.
I never thought he'd be there.
I know we talked about that. You thought he'd be gone. And, I was doing a lot of mocks and he kept falling to us. And I'm like, okay. So Sadiq was a guy I really wanted badly. I wanted Reese over Bailey, but I think I said to you, I was okay with either. But then you just look at what they did. And I think that this is the nice part. Everyone's going to be critical of the Club Nick thing. And I'm sure we'll talk about that. But like in general, when you look at the first four picks, when you land four impact players, in my opinion, that will impact your football team immediately and long term.
Yeah.
And the way these guys play, and I think that's the thing that people are going to really get excited about. Like you're talking about high effort, high impact type players. I'm excited by the draft. I mean, I have one pick that I was unhappy with in general, but I'm not, again, you look at it, right? Bailey, Sadiq, Cooper, and Pons. I mean, if you want to say, oh, I didn't really want Bailey, I wanted Reese, okay. I found it weird. I was dealing with some people saying Sadiq. Why Sadiq when they could have had Lemon? But they got Cooper behind it. So, like, from my perspective, you got two pass catchers and a matchup nightmare with Sadiq. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying when you look at how they attacked us in the beginning, like you said, you get the best pass rusher to come out of college. You get the best tight end and what I think is the best weapon as a pass catcher. Then you get Omar Cooper Jr., who's the best with yards after the catch and being physical and making guys miss. He when I see his highlights, I see a more physical Santana Moss. He's shifty, he's quick, but he's more powerful. He could break the tackles better than Santana. Santana would make you just look silly and avoid you like Houdini. But Cooper could get through the contact and keep going. And then you bring in Pons. You're bringing in Aaron Glenn. You're bringing in Aaron Glenn 2.0. I love that pick. I did want linebacker. I'm not going to lie, but
me too.
I'll take a guy like that. I'll take a guy like that who plays with a chip on his shoulder. He plays as if he's 6'1", 220, man. And I will take that 10 times out of 10. I will take the little guy with the me against the world mentality on my team. You get into the weekend now, you get into today. We add Darrell Jackson, defensive tackle, massive, strong player. This is a guy, I know you and I are new to doing shows together. They call me a size queen. I want big fatties on the offensive line and the defensive line. We got two of them. We'll get into the trade up for Klubnik a little bit. They moved up again to get Inez Cooper. Played big-time college football. 3-year starter in Miami. Honorable mention or all ACC honors the last 2 years. This is a big guy. He's 6'5" and 7/8. They wouldn't give him 6'6". I'm doing it. In cleats, he's 6'6". We're saying it here. 335. Massive, powerful man. This is a guy you want fighting in a phone booth. You get him in the pipeline, you bring him in. If he could, when we've seen many guys earlier on, and I did a show earlier, I brought up Trey Smith. Now we know Trey Smith slid in the draft because of the heart murmur condition, valve, whatever. I forget exactly what it was, but that's a guy who was drafted later, just went in and played like one of the better guards. He's got a big ass. He's got big legs. He gets a hold of people. He drives them. He moves them. I'm not going to say this guy's going to be Trey Smith, but I like that big physical guy. He's got a nasty attitude, a nasty mentality, and I want those guys on my offensive line. I don't want nice guys on my offensive line. I want people that the social media team doesn't even want to make eye contact with as they walk by. So, and then they add BJ Payne at the end. Another guy, he's 6'3", 220, I believe. Big guy for safety. Good. Maybe he can be a special teamer. No expectations there on him. You know, we have 4 safeties already. Fitzpatrick, I'm counting as a safety. Malachi Moore, Belton, and Cisco.
Cisco, right.
And Cisco are 1-year deals. So if you can get this guy, maybe practice squad him, activate him sometimes, and then get him in the pipeline, okay. But overall, this draft is going to be determined by the first 4 guys.
At the end of the day, this is a 2-year rebuild. And they tore this thing down to the studs last year.
Yeah.
They had a good offseason where they raised the floor with free agency while protecting all of their 2027 draft capital and all of their cap space. They then turn around in the draft and they address a significant portion of this offense that they are loaded with. If you were bringing in a rookie quarterback in 2027 now, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Omar Cooper Jr., you have A.D. Mitchell, Sadiq, Mason Taylor, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis with a solid offensive line. It's not perfect, but you got 2 solid tackles. One likely is going to really become a stud. There's so many worse situations you could put a rookie quarterback in. Like, they're so much better than they were at the end of last season. It's actually not funny. And the only issue I really had with this draft in general was the Klubnik move, only because, and it has nothing to do with the player. And I want to say this because, was Klubnik my guy? No, he wasn't even on my list of guys that I would have taken a swing on. However, I said from day one, take a QB somewhere between around 4 and 7 as a swing. Pick the guy you like the most and take him. My only issue with it was you traded capital to move up to get him when I thought there were at least 2 or 3 guys on the board that I would have liked to have gotten after. The Pitt linebacker Lewis was one of them. I liked him a lot. I liked Connor Liu a lot. I thought that was a pick that I was like I was wanting Liu at the top of the fourth round over Jackson Jr. That was my guy.
Yeah.
Because I think by halfway through the season he could be the starting center.
We got to,
but
I
again,
mentioned
they
this
made
earlier.
the
Kyle
decision-
Clifton was a little upset. And I mentioned we got Myers, we have Parham, we have Tittman, and we have Newman. We got 4 guys who could play center. Maybe we as fans overvalued that a little bit, wanting that upgrade. But we have multiple guys, and if we could just get the best 5 together, maybe that will pan out. I do want to bring this up. This is something that just came out. I'll take you down. You know who this is?
Who's that?
It's Nathan Voorhees. Went to Ball State. He's an edge rusher. We just signed him as an undrafted free agent, and he tweeted, "The prophecy is fulfilled. Let's get to work." So there he is at a Jet game, and now he's an undrafted free agent signed with the Jets. So that's another guy we just added to the mix. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
mean,
If there's a player that we just all fell in love with and we are all rooting for, it's him.
that is so funny. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, for me, this draft, at the end of the day, it comes down to, can they execute on the field? Does this team perform? If not, everybody's going to get fired. So, objectively as a fan, we're going to have the guys we want. The only move, again, that I look at and go, but they have the intel, we don't. If they loved Klubnik and they thought someone was going to draft him and they thought they needed to move up to get him, and he turns out to be a solid, QB backup too over the long term, that's a win for them, because a solid QB2 is a $10 to $12 million annual investment these days. So I'm not going to flip out over a 4th round QB swing, even though I had a couple of guys I really wanted. That's just trying, like, you got to, like, for me, it's like, I'm trying, been back and forth on Twitter for a few days on this. There are some people that just doesn't matter what they did, they were going to be super negative, and like,
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And I got accused of that last year when I was talking about how frustrated I was with Glenn as the head coach. And but in a vacuum, like, when you look at this draft, I think they have 4 guys that really can impact them immediately in a very positive, like, yeah, Pons is small, but he plays big and he hits like an animal. Like, that was our criticism of Sauce Gardner. He couldn't tackle. He didn't hit. This guy's like the complete opposite of that, So it's like, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic on what they did. And again, I wouldn't have picked Klubnik, but I'm not losing. I was upset about it, but I'm not like, that destroyed the draft for me. It'd be kind of silly.
Yeah. Kyle Clifton checks in, member of the channel for 11 months, says, good. It's my job to flip out. I don't want to upset Kyle. Kyle's a massive human being.
I love Kyle.
Yeah. He's 6'7". We were hanging out. He came to my draft party the other day. I don't want to upset Kyle. So, Kyle, you do whatever you want, buddy. I won't stop you. I promise you. Yeah. And we can like the picks. There's many picks that we've liked, right? I think a lot of people fell in love with, I'm going to say the dreaded name, Vernon Gholston. A lot of people saw the workout videos and saw the size and saw the mass and thought we got D. Milliner, who's a top-rated cornerback, and he went to shit. So nothing is determined today. We can look back at this in 3 years and say, man, remember everybody loved that guy? How he turned out being shit. Remember the guard we took 188, Cooper? He ended up being the All-Pro. So we don't know how this is going to play out, but I think I like the structure, the environment that the players are coming into much more now than last year. I agree. Purpose. There's more intent. There's more reason. There's more of a plan. There's more potential development than we had a year ago. And I think we were blind to that. But I think now it's actually legitimately there.
Yeah. And again, I mean, look, and when I say it's a 2-year build, I saw somebody in the chat. I was saying, Glenn said we were going to win last year. Look, it was one of my biggest criticisms of Aaron Glenn when he came in here. with his bravado, talking about coaching, and people were going to not, we were going to be win now basically, and it was essentially a referendum on the previous coaching staff. That's what it felt like at training camp. And he even had the players talking that way. And to me, it's just like, you have to earn your stripes before you say those things, right? I think he's been a bit different since the end of the season. He seems to have maybe learned a lesson, hopefully. And I just look at it this way. Again, when you tear down the roster, and if you look at that roster at the end of last year, this was a awful football team. It was just awful all around. And when you look at what they did in free agency, they brought in guys that I think are all floor raisers, competent football players, not superstars. There's not one superstar that they brought in. I'm fine with that. Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's past his prime. But you know what? He's a seasoned veteran. Demario Davis, he's past his prime. Seasoned veteran, competent football players. Like, no long-term contracts. Smart. And now you go and you draft a bunch of guys. Again, I don't think we should sell this. They have weapons and speed all over offense right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I
level.
watched a lot of Sadiq. It's why I was really on Sadiq. People just calling him a tight end, and, we already drafted a tight end last year, do not really understand what that man can potentially be.
Yeah.
Now, you got to trust that Reich's going to utilize him the right way and they'll develop him. But we were screaming for that type of player for the last 2 years coming out of the tight end position. Guy runs a sub 4.4 out of the tight end spot. Like, I don't know. I feel good about these things. You can nitpick every single thing, but in the totality of it all, if you felt good, if they had a rookie quarterback that you really loved right now, I think you would feel really good about what they have.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this. I've discussed at great length on how when we go for the quarterback in 2027. I want him dropped in as the final piece of the puzzle. I don't want the dreaded savior or, he has to change the franchise on his own. I want talent across the line. I want weapons on every level. I want to be 4 deep at wide receiver, 3 deep at tight end, 3 deep in the backfield. And I want to make sure that this guy has everything around him that he can just be a football player and then advance at his own level. I didn't want a guy to you want to play a fun game? I always tell people, go look at what Sam Darnold had in 2018 and then look what he had in 2020. We failed him as an organization because it got worse over the 3 years. You want to look at what Zach Wilson came into? We didn't do a very good job of building around him either. As an organization and with talent, we did not help these guys out. You see what Sam did later in his career. I do not expect that from Zach Wilson. It would be the biggest surprise in NFL history. But with Sam, there was potential, but they just didn't build a structure for him to succeed. Whoever the 2027 quarterback is set to succeed. Like, you cannot come into this and not say the Jets did everything in their power to give this guy the keys to the organization. We've given Sam Darnold the keys. There wasn't 4 tires on the car. There was no engine. You had to roll down the windows. It would get stuck. It was off track. It was a clunker that we gave Sam Darnold. The next quarterback will have every opportunity to make this a winner. And that's where you need to be.
100. Again, I align. I think the Jets offense will be entertaining. Geno will chuck the ball down the field, and he has a bunch of burners that can go downfield.
Yeah.
Is he going to make a ton of mistakes? I mean, he's Geno. He's going to throw picks. He's going to make decisions that he's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, what was he doing? We know this already. Even when he was good in Seattle, he had those moments where, there's a reason why Seattle hit a ceiling with Geno and they replaced him with Sam, right? Like, people like Geno had a nice resurgence and he had a good comeback in his career, but they hit a ceiling for a reason, because Geno's kind of, he's that guy, and I was surprised that Sam kind of went all the way to the promised land, because I still saw it in Sam in Minnesota when he got pressured. He's still happy feet. He'd throw into double, triple coverage in the biggest games. He would make the same mistakes. Now, what was the difference between what Minnesota did and what Seattle did was Seattle surrounded Sam with so much talent that they could play bully ball and run the hell out of the football. They didn't need Sam to be the guy that threw for 300 yards. There were games where he did, but there were plenty of games where, I mean, including the Super Bowl, where Sam was a game manager and they just dominated on both sides of the line. And so for me, your point is extremely valid, because I think at the end of the day, you bring in a rookie quarterback next year into this foundation and structure, whether that's with Frank Reich and Glenn, or those guys don't make it. I don't know. I still think that's a big unknown.
Yeah. Agreed.
You have most rookie quarterbacks don't walk in with that many opportunities with the weapons that the Jets will have. They just won't.
Yeah. And let's not write this off. Geno can have a big time year with the talent that we put around him. When Geno had protection and Geno was in Seattle, listen, I'm going out on a limb here. If Geno plays all 17 games, he's going to own the Jets record book. He's going to surpass Fitzpatrick with 31, and he's going to pass Joe Namath at 4,007. I'm going on the record right now. He starts 17 games, he will rewrite the Jet record book. You have enough talent where you don't have to. We got guys who could score from anywhere on the field. If they catch the ball, they can go. They can run past people. They can run around people. They can run through people. We're going to have the ability to stack yardage. We haven't been able to do that. We've had guys that don't get open. We've had guys that don't throw the fucking ball. We've had guys who do loop-de-loos and run big circles around to avoid, and we get an 18-yard sack. Geno's going to throw the goddamn ball, man. We have so many opportunities on so many levels. You want to run speed crisscross? We can do that. We can get open. You want to run guys deep? Defense has to respect that. Throw a flare pass to Breece Hall. Get him one-on-one with a linebacker. You're going to be able to look at the defense. And what's the line from the water boy when the kicker's lining up? Where's my bitch? There's my bitch. Go attack him. Go get your bitch. Attack the bitch on defense. And Aaron Glenn said it night one. We're going to dictate what the defense comes out in, whether it's nickel, whether it's dime. And now the beauty of Taylor and Sadiq together, oh, they're in 12 personnel. Oh, what do? We got you in run defense. All right. We're going to motion Sadiq out now. Now we're in 3 wide. Now we shift. Breece is out. We're 5 wide. What are we doing? How are we going to guard this? Make the other team burn timeouts. I'm looking forward to how this coaching staff, and there's a lot of questions with it, come together to utilize the talent, Paul, in order to maximize the advantage to our side for once, instead of us always being behind the 8 ball. For all of you here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We got a big crowd here with 80 already. We got 150 of you on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, come over to YouTube, The Nick Shine Show, subscribe. For those of you here in the chat right now, I pinned Paul's link. That's the link that's pinned in the chat. Go click that. Show him some love. Paul, give me your thoughts on what I just said.
You're super optimistic. I agree about the mismatch opportunities. I'm more tempered on my expectations of Geno, just because I felt his last year in Seattle, he showed regression. And then I think last year he was definitely in a bad spot. His offensive line was terrible. He didn't have a ton of weapons. But he was really bad too. And so I'm not there yet.
He got the shit beat out of him, though.
He did.
Got the shit beat out of him.
So
to his credit, he kept getting up, though.
He did. So I look at it like, I think this is what's the right expectation? So here's my view of the world. The right expectation is this should be a 6-7 win expectation. That's how I feel. That's fair. You're going from 3 wins, you get to 7 wins. I think that's you would end the season, especially if they're competitive. Like win 6-7 games would be competitive in a bunch of others where you look at it and you go, yeah, they need to add a couple more pieces on defense and they need their franchise quarterback. That's a successful season. And I know that sounds, people are gonna be like, wow, what about 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins? You got to be real. I'm realistic about what Geno is at this point in his career. Could he have some kind of Ryan Fitzpatrick season where, it shocks the world and the Jets go out and do it, something that I don't expect? I guess, but I'm just not there, because some of these guys, like I think Sadiq is going to be, he's going to be a real big help to Geno. But again, it's his first season. What's our expectation going to be?
Paul, I plan on spending Valentine's Day at SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I just, I think it's if the Jets win 7 games this year and you're looking at it going, get me some more defensive help and get me my quarterback. And now I've got a team that's young and can ascend with the quarterback. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe I'm being just too pessimistic. I don't know. But I went into last season expecting a 6 or 7 win team and they were completely trash. So, like, for me, I think it's a 6 to 8 win team. 8 is the ceiling, 6 is the floor. Anything below 6, these guys shouldn't have a job. That's the way I feel.
And that's fair. I'll agree with that. And if they have a job or not, say they go 7 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
How did the 10 look? That's
right.
If they have a job or not. If you're getting blown out 35-3 by halftime, you're probably going to be out of a job. If you're losing on a field goal attempt on a windy day in the rain and it falls short from 57 yards, okay. And that's against the Bills, okay. You're showing that you're improving. You're showing that you're competitive. If you go 3-3 in the division, you beat the Dolphins twice, and then you take one from the Patriots, and then you play the Bills close twice, okay. Now you're closing the gap. You're showing that the trajectory is going in the right direction. How did the 10 look? That's the key, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. Look, I don't have the schedule off the top of my head. I don't have the teams they're playing off the top of my head. They have a tough schedule. I know that. They're playing. They have a. Here we go. So, I mean, if we're just trying to be, you look at this, you go, okay, Cleveland at home, and I know they lost last year, Cleveland, but like if you just try to figure out where are the 6 or 7 wins, they need to beat Cleveland. They should beat Miami at home. Miami's not a good football team, even though I thought they had an actual decent draft. And I think the Raiders is a toss-up game. I think there's probably 3 wins at home. On the road.
What about Minnesota? They got questions at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So but I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you look at the home schedule, I could say 3 wins, maybe they can win 4, but like 3 wins at home. If you look at the road, I don't expect them to beat the Bears. I don't expect them to beat the Chargers. I do not expect them to beat the Lions. I think they could beat the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals are a very good football team. I think they could beat Tennessee. They're not a good football team. And I think they could beat Miami. So if you give them all the other games, that's 6, 7 wins. And I think that's to me where we should be. Again, could they overperform it? Yeah. But could they underperform it? 100%. They could be a 4-win team.
Yeah.
So again, I think 6, 7. And I just did the 6, 7.
I know. I heard it. I know.
But I do think it's a 6 or 7 win football team if we're just being like realistic Jet fans, not overly optimistic, not overly pessimistic. And if they if they win less than 6 games, I don't think Glenn is here. If they win 6 or more and they look competitive, I think Glenn gets his draft as quarterback. I think that's the way I'm looking at it.
That's fair. I mean, we played Denver close the last couple of times we played them, right? They got to come here. That's not a gimme. Minnesota, their quarterback situation, McCarthy didn't look good. The Browns and the Dolphins should be wins. When do we get Kansas City? Is it before Mahomes' return? Is it Justin Fields or Nussmeier, who they just took today? Or do we get Mahomes in November when he's in a rhythm? So there's some questions, on the schedule and when it happens as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I hope to get Vrabel week 1 when he's suspended. I hope to get the Patriots during his suspension.
I mean, I've learned my lesson from the past overly excited expectations where I've talked myself. I remember I used to go into the office at work. We would run up the board and we'd go through it and we just do wins and losses by our favorite teams. And I always had the Jets winning 10 games, 11 games. And it reached a point, I think the year that Rodgers blew out his Achilles, I was all in on that season. And then I was stupid enough to think when he came back off of an Achilles, even though they kept solid when they should have fired him, that was a 10 to an 11 win football team. they go out and win 5 games and just crap all over themselves. So I'm at a place today where it's like, I'm going to keep my expectations muted and go out and prove to me that you're actually a competent head coach that can game plan and prepare this team. So you don't always have to be the most talented team on the field if you are good at scheme and setting up a way to win a football. NFL is parity on purpose, and the Jets have found a way to lose over and over in that league because they've been outcoached over and over and over again. So Glenn's got to prove something this year. And maybe the best thing that could happen to him is that Reich really just take the reins of the offense, and it's kind of like his game. And if Glenn can be a good DC, we'll see. But again, I'm gonna show me mode. I'm happy with the draft in the off season, but I'm not ready to like. I mean, I got people like DMing me going, "This is such a great. They're going to win 10 games this year." I'm like, I don't see that.
We win 10 games by Thanksgiving, Paul. You better get in line now, bro. Folks, we got 95 of you watching right now. Less than half of you have hit the like button. Go ahead, hit that like button. Take a moment, hit the link. Go subscribe to Paul's channel as well. Now, here's something else. You know, this has been a big thing in recent years. The RAS, right? You know, Darrell Jackson and Cooper are big fatties. They're not going to be athletic, but that's not why you drafted them. You know, let me take that banner down. Everyone on the safety that we drafted in round 7 is our highest RAS score. So this is something that's been in the analytical world, and shout out to them for not updating the logo on the top. I guess they do this in AI.
I mean, you see it all over, right? Every single time you see guys getting Jets jerseys put on them on the freaking line, it's always the old Jets logos and jerseys.
Yeah.
Can't get it right.
No, no, I don't know what AI hates us for, but you know, so we got some athletic guys.
Yeah.
You know, Pons, I'm surprised is that low, but when the cornerback position is filled with freak athletes, you have to be. So it's not a knock on him. It's just that's a loaded position.
I mean,
athleticism.
So if you think about Pons, right, and people are like he's so tiny and this is a problem. Okay, DJ Reed played outside. He was 5'9", and until his final season with the Jets, where he was disgruntled and did not play well, no one would say he wasn't a good corner for us.
No.
And in my mind, Pons plays with an edge to him that's at another level of DJ Reed, and he's more athletic than Reed. He's got a vertical that's kind of nuts, right? So like to me, I just look at it like you got him at 50, and he's probably your most talented corner at this point right now on the field. And I think he'll play inside and outside.
Oh yeah, they said they're going to cross train him. Shout out to M. Morris. Size is a factor in RAS. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. I was looking at Iowa Jets. You're right. You're not wrong. And I'll say here I'm just going to own. I'm going to own my own view of the world. Last year, I was pining for Dart. I was dying for the Jets to get him. He was my guy, and Shuck was my other guy. Those were the two guys I wanted really badly. I was pissed they didn't take a swing on anyone in the later rounds. It made no sense to me. And all I got from everybody was like, well, we got Brady Cook. Yeah, you see how Brady Cook is. He sucks.
Yeah.
I went into this draft saying the same thing. I did not in any way want Simpson anywhere near the Jets at 16 or 33. Turns out we didn't have to worry about it. Rams took him at 13.
Thank
and you know
God. That was my biggest celebration of round 1.
And it's
when that tweet popped in.
And that's a great landing spot for him. And, you know, to me, again, when I was saying I didn't want Simpson, it was less about Simpson. It was more about the Jets situation and how we treat first-round quarterbacks. And so I didn't want him here because he would have been rushed to play. And so once you got past that, for me, it was, who do I want to take a swing on from round 4 or later, but take someone. Take the guy you like the most. So I am not mad at the Klubnik pick from this perspective. Frank Reich wants the guy. He's the OC. He believes he can develop him. Fine. My only issue was that they used other draft capital that I wanted to use on a linebacker, a center, or a safety. That was it. And so if he turns out to be a QB2 long term, great. If he bombs, I still think they did really well at the beginning of the draft. So it's not the end of the world. It was just, for me, it felt like a reach. But I also expected Nussmeier to go. And I mean, Nussmeier, I don't even know. Did he even get drafted? Did he wind up getting drafted?
Yeah, Kansas City took him.
At the seventh round?
Kansas City took him at the end, yeah.
I mean,
Not
that's
the
kind of
last
crazy.
pick, but right at the end of round 7.
Yeah, so I mean, like so who the hell knows what people thought of Klubnik versus not? I mean, obviously, Muji's intel was if we don't move up for him, we're not going to get him. So it is what it is.
That's fair. All right. Last question. Who has the best career out of this draft class?
Oof. I'm going to, you know what? I'm just going to own it because I'm the one that was recording videos a month ago saying I wanted him. So I'm just going to say Sadiq.
Okay.
And just because I'm more than happy to take the egg on my face if he's not good. But when you're out there saying to people, I want him at 16 if he's there, and that you're going to you'd be willing to take him over, Lemon or any of those other guys, I have to own that. If he sucks, I'll be the first to say he sucks, but I'll also be the first to say if Klubnik is good, that I was wrong. So, the one that'll probably be the most consistent is, I think that guys, I think Cooper is going to be a good football player for the Jets. I think the fan base is going to love him because he's got a Deebo Samuel edge to him that I think is interesting.
I feel a little bit of a Nunwa. Like he's shifted like Moss, but he runs like a Nunwa.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the two of them combined together.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see, but I'm cautiously optimistic that this was a competent, good draft overall. I'd give it a B+.
Such a fucking troll. The best career of the kicker. You son of a bitch, man.
It's so funny. The minute the Jets took Klubnik, because I had been so positive up to that point, and I posted something a bit negative. I'm like, this is the first pick I really didn't like, and I kind of gave it a 4. The people that couldn't wait to pile on because they just super negative about the Jets in general, and I get it, by the way. I'm 51 years old. I've been negative. I've been a fan my whole life. At this point, it's understandable when you're negative about this team. I get it. It's hard to have a different perspective. But I started getting all kinds of people like just piling on, and I had to laugh. I'm like, you don't like any picks. So what's the, like the one guy I don't like, it doesn't mean that they all should get fired now. Like, let's, so we had some fun with it though. So we'll see.
So if you've been following the Frankie V saga with Bailey and Reese, it was Frankie V versus the world. So tomorrow night, for the first time, I'm going to have Frankie V on. I reached out to him about a week and a half ago, asking if he'd be interested in coming on the show at all. And he was like, do you want to do this Sunday or the following Sunday? And I was like, oh, if I could get you post-draft on that Sunday night, that would be great. And then as soon as Bailey was the pick, that is the thumbnail. Frankie V's victory lap tomorrow night here, folks, 8:00. Don't miss it. It'll be a good one.
I love Frankie. I had him on my show. We did a good back and forth hour plus. He's such an entertaining person to talk to, and I appreciate his conviction and he does not waver. He was on Bailey and has been on Bailey forever. And you know what? I hope he's right. I hope Bailey turns out to be, a stud disruptive player on a consistent basis. Love the kid's attitude. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we're not putting expectations too high here, right? But, I mean, Bailey's going to be Von Miller. Sadiq is going to be Shannon Sharp. Cooper Jr. is going to be Andre Johnson. Pons is going to be Aaron Glenn. Darrell Jackson's going to be Warren Sapp. Clay Cup. We had an okay draft, Paul. We did all right. No pressure on anybody.
So funny. Yeah, we'll see.
Man. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. We will.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. Right, anytime you want me, let me know.
I will. Bye, guys.
All right, buddy. Be good. Nice. Again, if you haven't already, Paul's YouTube link is right there. Also, his name, Paul Fiore, on Twitter. Go give him a follow. We got 85 of you in here watching right now. It's draft weekend. Super chats, $5 up. Gifted memberships are doubled. Mother's Day giveaway. We have 2 prizes that night. We have a Don Maynard mini helmet signed, and we have a winner's choice raffle. Again, you pick the player, you pick the item. Mini helmet, autographed jersey, signed photo. No Namath, no Mangold on this one. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break. We are going to play Blitz BK's new song, and I'll be right back with another guest.
Yo. Engines roar when the Jets take flight. Green lights glow in the Jersey night. Skyline lit when the squad ignite. Gangrene rolling, yeah, the Jets take flight. Yo, every show we bring the Jets all through, the speech is clear. Real fan talk, we survive rebuilding years. Seen quarterbacks come, we seen them disappear. Still solid with my team, no bandwagons here. Green stitch to my fibers, won't switch to the Niners. Quick like Vic, I see victims in my visor. Jets loss is heavy, but the pride is never left. Stood 10 toes down when the season felt like death. New season feels like fresh air. New OC and QB, man, I always love the fresh pair. Like the man Jordan that I'm rocking with my Jets gear. Hoodie but no cap out, never play it off, but we gotta get the Jets there. Let's share ideas for this team for this next year. It's fair to think we'll do better in those big chairs. Shit, yeah, hire Dream Bean to run this shit here. Take this playoff streak and make it disappear. Engines roar when the Jets take flight. Green lights glow in the Jersey night. Skyline lit when the squad ignite. Gangrene rolling, yeah, the Jets take flight. Jets take flight.
Shout out to Blitz BK. Also, Wyoming running back Sam Scott is signing with the Jets as an undrafted free agent. So you see that they're adding a couple running backs, wide receivers. You got Cade Klubnik. So you want to load up this rookie camp next week with as many weapons as you can and allow him to start operating the offense. Shout out to Ricky New York, who just gifted a channel membership that went to Nate Jets. Oh, Nate Jets, you sound like a nice guy. Ricky New York, you are a nice guy. We appreciate you. All right. Next guest. Friend of the show. He's been on before. Let's bring in Nolan Rich from Rich Sports Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Well, we finally made it after months of anticipation and debates. We finally got across that finish line. And again, I think this was a very interesting draft, especially on day 3 for the Jets.
Yeah, let's start there since you brought it up. Give me your thoughts. I know there's been bedlam in Jets Nation because they made a move. They trade back from the Ponds pick. They get an extra 4th. And as soon as they did that, I was like, all right, now you can use those 2 4s, move up, and get somebody that you target. Mm-hmm. They do exactly that, and you would act like they're Deron Lee or Mike Perro. Like you're acting like they killed somebody. Give me your thoughts.
So I think what was frustrating is this whole offseason, I think ultimately the Jets have gone to the right places, but their process has just been a mess, which is why I think the fans are frustrated. Like you look at the coaching, the offensive defensive coordinator, I think they ultimately arrived at the right one with Frank Wright and having Aaron Glenn call the defense. But getting through Wink Martindale, that whole process, then firing the OC, it was just a mess. The whole David Bailey, Arvell Reese, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks before the draft, Bailey's name gets out. I just think that it's just the process hasn't been great. I think they've gotten good results. I don't love that they picked a quarterback. The big thing that this reminded me of was last year. And the big thing I said is I want to see Darren Muji learn from last year. And for the most part, I think he did. But this was a move that they moved up. Didn't seem like they really needed to and overdrafted a guy like Tyler Barron last year. It just felt like a move you didn't need to make. And with so many check boxes that you wanted them to get, linebacker, safety, to move up to get a quarterback like that, I think that's why they were so frustrated, Jet fans. And that was the one move of the night that I really didn't love the Jets making. But overall, I thought where they picked, they got good value, except for that one pick.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we needed to take a quarterback at some point. I'm very happy we didn't reach for Simpson. My biggest celebration of round one is when the tweet came in that the Rams were taking him at 13. I was more joyful about that than the guys that we took. And I love Sadiq and I love the Cooper trade up. I called the Cooper trade up with the big fella and Kyle Clifton when we had the pick at 16 that we're not done yet. We're jumping up and we're going to come and get another weapon. And they did. So I was very happy about that. Now, we don't know the thought process. We don't know what Frank Reich and his staff, Musgrave and others, thought, think, and feel, not just about Klubnik, everyone else. Klubnik may have been the best of a bad bunch. And when you only have your fourth quarterback going in the fourth round, you know it's not a good class. So maybe they're sitting there and saying, okay, this is the guy that we know he does this well, but we can fix 6 of these things that he doesn't do well and get him up to a playable level over time. So that could be part of it. They're not taking him as a plug and play player. Like, people are acting as if this guy is going to be the franchise quarterback. He's being given the keys to the organization. It's not that. And I think people need to back up away from the ledge. I totally get the fan base, Rich. I really do.
Yeah.
We're starving for a franchise quarterback. We're starving for winning football. We don't want to wait for another guy. They want the next guy to be the guy. And I think that factors in the panic mode of it. Give me your thoughts on that.
I get that too. And look, I've said this, like even when I was doing Drew Aller, I said, if these guys they draft, whether it's round 3, round 4, round 5, if they become a good backup in the league, you're going to be really happy with that. I think the hard part is like what you were saying. This isn't a plug and play player, which is why I think fans and even I raised a little bit of an eyebrow, because I thought there was still some interesting pieces in that early 4th round. Like, could they have double dipped and got another wide receiver? Could they have addressed the safety position? And also to walk out of this draft class, talking about last year. Last year, it was a great D-tackle class. We were frustrated they didn't take a D-tackle, and they ended up having to adjust in training camp. This was a really deep linebacker safety class. Yeah. And the fact that they didn't draft a linebacker, inside linebacker, not an edge, just for Bailey.
Yeah.
And they waited until the last pick of the draft to take a safety who is a safety but projects to be a guy that's going to move around, could maybe play a big slot, has the size to go outside. He's an intriguing player, and I'm excited to see what they do with him. But once again, it's like you have a draft where the need's there. You have an abundance of the need, but the Jets don't get that. So I think it's more the frustration that they didn't wait and they moved up to get a quarterback and sacrificed the 4th round pick. And look, at the end of the day, if he becomes a really good backup quarterback and he's able to give you a spot start and give you compete, that's great. But if you're expecting him to be coming in November, if he plays 6 or 7 games, I got news for you. If he plays 6 or 7 games, Aaron Glenn's probably not here in 2027, because that means the season went really off the rails.
True. Yeah, it's I think there's enough structure here and enough talent and enough leadership now that we can start to see the ship turn a little bit. And I think that's with what we saw the last time this team was on the field and what we could potentially put on the field tomorrow. I think fans should love the improvement that they've made. Now, I think Muji's doing a hell of a job. I think if this coaching staff falls flat on its face, Muji stays. Muji gets to pick his guy, trade for his guy, do whatever it takes. And I think that we go forward. And then we get, if Muji can pick a coach, if he has to. Now, I want Glenn to succeed. I am not looking to tank. I'm not looking to lose. I'm just having the what if. If Muji can pick a coach as well as he can pick top end talent in the draft,
right,
I'm happy.
And I'll give you this.
To be happy.
And I'll say this about Muji. I think outside of that trade, he improved on day 3. Because last year we were looking at the picks, Arian Smith, we were looking at Kiko, we saw the trade up for Barron, and we're looking and saying they're drafting guys that are borderline 7th round projections and undrafted free agents.
Yeah.
And you saw it come back to bite them. Where at least today, you looked at where they drafted, you either felt they got good value or about the value we're expecting for the player. So I will give Muji credit for that because I did see an improvement. That's something I want to see. I think that they raised the floor, and every player outside of the quarterback, I see a role for. I see where they're going to fit. And I see the biggest thing I also see too is I have a picture because I bet so many people asked you this question last year, and they asked me, what do you think the team's going to look like? What's the defense going to look like? What's the offense? And to be honest, after last year's draft, you didn't really have a good answer. I'm like, I don't really know. You at least now know what they're looking for. They're looking for serious beef in the trenches. They're looking to be physical, and they're looking to come with speed off the edge in a 3-4. And on offense, the ironic thing is I think they're going to have more creativity on offense than defense with all the pieces that they've added to this team. Where the defense, I think it's going to be a basic 3-4. There'll be some variations, but they'll have big D linemen. They'll have speed off the edge. The big question is middle linebacker. I'm curious how they'll address that. I think they'll maybe look for June 1st cuts. But overall, like I see a plan. At least I see a vision coming out of this draft. For last year, it was very difficult to see what the vision actually was.
Yeah. And when you look at the roster, and Mark Sacchetti, I'm talking to you with your comment. If you can't look at this roster and see significant upgrades, I don't know what world you live in, my friend. Mm-hmm. You look at the starters now. You got A.D. Mitchell, Garrett Wilson, and Cooper as your wide receiver core. I think everyone agrees that's a lot better than what we put on the field last year. You have Olu. Parham's an upgrade from Simpson. Myers is still your starting center. Tittman and Membo. So 4 of the 5 offensive linemen return, and the one that we replaced, we got a better version of. So the offensive line is better. Geno Smith will throw the goddamn ball, which is a massive upgrade from any of the 3 bags of shit we put on the field last year. You combine Taylor and Sadiq in 12 personnel, and Sadiq is a human mismatch. That's a massive upgrade. You have your 3 running backs still, Davis, Allen, and of course Hall. Defensively, we added beef. We added run stuffers. And now the goal is to not keep giving up 3rd and 2 and letting the other team convert. It's to get them into 3rd and 8, and you unleash Will McDonald and Bailey off the edge time and time again. So this game is all about mismatches and matchups. Our matchups improved. When you have Sweat, Animata, Phillips, Briggs, Jackson that you can put up there, and you have Bailey, Kingsley coming off the edge. You have Osai and Will McDonald coming off the edge. Demario Davis running the whole fucking defense. Mm-hmm. Sherwood as just a run and tackle, don't think, play type of linebacker. And now the secondary, which was no interceptions, you bring in Minkah Fitzpatrick, one of the most exciting defenders with the ball in his hands since Ed Reed. You bring in Nashawn Wright to be cornerback. You still have Brandon Stevens, who after the first 3 weeks was one of the best rated corners in all of football. You re-signed Cisco. Not that excited about that. Malachi Moore with year 2 experience. You draft D'Angelo Ponce, who many people, including Sadiq, said one of the best corners, if not the best corner we went up against all year. I don't know how you can look at this and say, I'm living in a dream world. You want to live in a hate-filled world. God bless you. Enjoy. I'm going to enjoy and improve the roster. And if the coaching staff can improve as much as the roster did, this could be a playoff team. I'm not guaranteeing it. A lot has to come together, but the talent is there, and we have raised the floor of this roster. And if you can't see that because they didn't take a linebacker, maybe this ain't the show for you, bro.
Yeah, well, the thing, too, is they've changed the personality in that locker room. Gone is the moping. Gone is the woe is me. Like, Demario Davis is not going to allow that crap. You have Minkah Fitzpatrick's not going to allow that. And the guys they've brought in are either from winning programs or they're from programs that faced adversity that they had to go through. So I really feel like that's like Darrell Jackson. One of the big things they were saying about him was he really kept that team together through all the BS that they were going through at Florida State. I think that the attitude in the locker room is significantly better, and it's getting rid of guys that were really quick to point the finger, blame other people instead of themselves. So I really like the attitudes that they've also been in too, because this locker room for how long has been just toxic, just with the loser mentality.
I can't help but laugh at this comment. Sorry, Jay. Sometimes it comes out, Jay. Sometimes it comes out.
Trade. Yeah, but I also will say this too. Like, one thing that I think we learned after this draft too, maybe the league wasn't as high on Arvell Reese as we all thought. Because one thing I noticed, like, David Bailey goes to the Jets at 2. You have the Cardinals. Could have taken Arvell Reese. They didn't. You have Robert Saleh, defensive guru, according to every NFL coach now, who forgets the Jets, obviously. He passes on him at number 4, and we all heard they were looking to trade out at 3 and 4. No team would come up for Reese. And then today at the press conference, Harbaugh basically said, no, we're playing him at linebacker. We're not putting him on the edge. We're playing him in the middle of the field. So maybe the league didn't think, like some of these scouts did, that he could make that transition to the edge. Maybe eventually he will. But it stinks he went to the Giants, because we're never going to hear the end of those comparisons. But
every
Reese,
time he makes a play, the Modines of the world are going to come out and say, oh, look what we didn't get.
But for Reese, I think he went to the perfect spot. They're going to ask him to play in the middle of the field, which is where he played last year. So for everyone saying, I can't believe they passed Arvell Reese, it wasn't just the Jets. The Cardinals passed, Titans passed, teams behind them could have come up. I didn't see the Chiefs coming up. I didn't see the Browns coming up to get him. So maybe there was more of the consensus that, yeah, we really love him as a linebacker, but we're not as sold that he can make that transition to this, quote, edge rusher.
And that's where the questions with him lied, right? You didn't have a home. He's got to get drafted. He's got to get developed. He's got to find that home. He's got to show where he can be. Bailey can rush the passer. You need that. You needed the complement. You can never have enough guys that can rush the passer in the NFL. The New York Giants won a Super Bowl because they had 4 guys that can get there on their own. You can never have enough guys who get to the quarterback. Shout out to Ricky for a super chat. I had VJ Payne ranked as the bottom of the 4th round player. Mooj got great value. 2 giant human beings in the trenches. Didn't like losing pick 140. That's fair, Ricky. I agree. Payne has potential. I think Bleacher Report had him ranked at 144. I saw when I was on earlier when the pick came in. Ricky followed up with another super chat. Thank you, Rick. How the fuck did we go from March to Arch to trade for Cade? Was not on my bingo card. Can live with dart throw, but didn't need to trade. And when I read the beginning of this, all I could think of was the Johnny Knoxville movie, Special Olympian. It's like, when the fuck did we go for ice cream?
The mall closes at 9 p.m. We're out getting ice cream.
Ricky, I'm not going to complain about trading up to get the quarterback in the 4th round. He has no expectations to start. You traded back from Pons to get the extra 4. You got Jackson at 103, a guy that can come into play. Shout out to you guys in the chat. We got 100 of you here watching right now on YouTube. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, I put Rich's link. It's pinned right now in the chat. Make sure you go over, show him some love as well, please. But I'm not gonna do the Tyler Barron. I don't give a shit if we trade up for a 5th. I don't give a shit if we trade up a little bit for a 4. You got the extra assets to go get guys that you think you can develop at that part of the draft. He's your 6th selection. He wasn't your 3rd. He wasn't your 2nd. He was your 6th. I'm okay with that.
Right. This wasn't
Context
like the Jets.
matters.
Yeah, the Jets didn't use one of the top 4 picks on a quarterback. That to me would have been the worst case scenario. This is a guy that I have to remind people, their goal for him is not for him to be the eventual starter. They want him to be a really good backup. If he could start, great. But you want a guy that if you have to survive 4 games in this league and you need a guy that can come in and try to win you a game or 2 and he can do that, that's great. Because let's face it, guys, the league is getting tougher. There's more international games. We're likely going to get to 18 games. Quarterbacks are going to get hurt. You can't just throw in the towel with your main quarterback goes down. You need to have someone to compete. So
I don't
you
know
almost
what
need
you're
2
talking about.
quarterbacks.
Our quarterbacks are never going to get touched. We're building the greatest offensive line in the history of the world.
The Great Wall of Muji.
That's it. Shout out to Chris Cap. Says Sadiq is an athletic freak. You're right, Nick. This roster is much improved. Sidebar, Tanky V is going to be so annoying Sunday night. Folks, Frankie will be here for his victory lap. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun one tomorrow night, but we're having fun right now. Thank you all for being here. We have another super chat from the big fella. A freaking minus, only mishap, no linebacker. Yeah, I mean, and a thought that I had in my head today when I wanted CJ Allen, I wanted Hill, I wanted Rodriguez. I was excited in round 2 as we got to pick 42.
Yeah.
And I said on the stream last night, I'm like, this is great. Hill, Rodriguez, and Allen are all there. You can take one at 44. Rodriguez goes before us. We slide back a little bit. I'm like, all right. CJ Allen and Hill are still there. I'm like, okay. And then it's Pons. I'm not upset at Pons. I think Pons fits a need. I think with the way the receivers are in the NFL nowadays, you need those athletic corners who can fly around, who can move, who can make tackles in the run because they try to run the stretch run game. He's not a weakling. He's not a weak spot in the defense when it comes to the run game. He will come up. He will lower his shoulder. He will jar the ball out. He's different. He's rare.
And let's be frank, if you were a head coach and you saw a player that was the exact version of you and you were a really good football player, wouldn't you want to draft that player?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he sees himself. Ricky with another super chat says it's that they traded in lieu of taking a center. They have 4. They have Myers. They have Tittman. They have Parham. They have Newman. They got 4 guys that can play center. I think as fans, we overvalued that. There's 4 guys on this roster that can play center. There's also 4 picks in the first 2 rounds next year. You can go get a center. Mm-hmm. You can go get that. If none of these guys work out, that's great. If you want to upgrade, you can. But I don't think the dire need was there. I wanted Lou myself, but I'm not going to shit on it. We got 4 guys that can play the position on the roster right now today.
Yeah, and we forget where this offensive line was 3 or 4 years ago, where Mekhi Becton was the left tackle, and we had Dwayne Brown at left tackle at the age of 40. Like this, the Jets' offensive line is in a much better place, and it's a young offensive line. This isn't an aging offensive line. I still think they're in a good position. You upgrade with Parham, and I think the worry is Myers isn't going to be able to repeat what he did last year, but I still think he's at least solid. If he's your worst offensive lineman, you can have a lot worse problems. You can.
Jay, I haven't slept much the last couple of days. It happens. There's been worse shit said. Calm down.
Yeah.
Thank you to Cal. This is what Jets fans need to put on. If you're that upset, when you're done with the show and after you're done, like go and subscribe to Paul and Rich's YouTube page, go to YouTube and Google that song. Play that, put it on repeat, go to bed, mate sweet Nana.
Well, I also love this undrafted free agency period. Apparently, the Jets had a lot of love at BYU. They've already signed 3 players from BYU.
Oh, maybe that's a sign that the Nets will get the top-rated college player in the draft. Maybe the Nets will win the lottery. We're showing some love in the tri-state area. Oh, where did you go?
There we go.
All right. Give me your thoughts. Who's the best pick 6 years from now? Who are we looking at and saying that's the guy? That's the best player from that draft. I hope there's competition. I hope it's not one guy.
I think it's going to be tough because especially the top 4, I think will all at least be solid players. I really think because of the attention Garrett and Sadiq are going to get, I think Omar Cooper Jr. is going to be a really great number 2. And I was talking about this. When was the last time the Jets had this kind of wide receiver firepower? Has it been Decker,
Marshall, and Nunez?
Marshall,
100%.
or Santonio Holmes, Jericho Cotchery, and Braylon Edwards.
Brad Smith was the 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very good room. And I think Cooper, like, if they're going to put him in the slot, Sadiq, to me, teams are going to game plan for him. They're going to game plan for everyone. But Cooper, I think, is silently going to be just a really good, productive player. I think there's going to be a lot of teams are going to be like, we should have drafted him early. And my favorite note would be if Cooper becomes really good because the Jets sniped him from Buffalo. They jumped in front of the Bills like the Bills did 3 times to us last year. Yeah. So I'm just glad they got in there. But I really like Omar Cooper Jr. I mean, I would have been happy with him at 60. And the fact that they got him for 30 and they trade a 5th-round pick for him, I thought that was the move of the draft. And I really think it put a great cherry on the end of round 1 because I think it was a little, we like it, but we're not completely sold. And then they got Cooper Jr. Like, okay, that was a good move.
I'm taking Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's 2 of them, and it gives me a 25% chance of being right.
that is true.
I'll take Cooper. I'm not declaring which one, but I take Cooper.
Yeah.
I mean, you take the best edge rusher in the class. He sounds motivated. His interview I love listening to with how he's always trying to improve and develop his pass rushing and his skill set. And he watches videos and Pass Rush Guru on Instagram. And he'll save the videos and go back. And when he hits the field, try to see if he can implement that into his repertoire. Sadiq sounds motivated. He likes to block. We need that. We got a great offensive line already. If you're running 12 personnel and you want to run the ball down their throat and you got a tight end who's willing to block, he was talking today about turning speed to power and speed to contact and getting that right angles to block at. And if you can motion him in, and then you want to run that stretch and he's clipping the end and Membu or Titman are coming around. Oh, man, let's play some football already, Rich. Let's play ball, man.
I can't wait. This is the most excited I've been about a Jets offense because you have a quarterback that's going to throw the ball. Even he'll say, F it, I'll throw it. Even Aaron Rodgers, he wouldn't throw it because he didn't want to hurt that completion percentage, like career percentage he had. So at least with
interception ratio, too.
Yeah, so Gino's going to throw it. And they got plenty of options now in the offense, where last year it was Garrett and no one else. So I really love what they did offensively. And I also think, too, this is a great draft that sets up next year. Is there a better situation for a young quarterback to come in? Because he's going to have, I think, 2 good receivers, 2 good tight ends. Like Mason Taylor gets lost in the shuffle. Yeah. I thought he had a very good year last year when he actually got thrown the football. So you have
44 catches and he missed like 4 games.
Yeah.
With better quarterback play, he would have pushed 65 as a rookie.
And he didn't have Garrett after week 4 or 5? So he was the number 1 target in the passing game. Yeah. And I love where the offense is, and you have your 2 bookend tackles. It's just such a better place for them to bring in a quarterback where with Sam and Zach, and again, I know Zach had his issues, but they basically said, look, the quarterback's got to save us, and we'll build around the quarterback. Where at least this time, let's build it up for the quarterback when they get here.
I like that. And that's the thing. You do the little arcade game. When you drop that quarterback in, the team around him is set. He doesn't have the pressure on him. He doesn't get the dreaded savior label, which we do in New York. It's, this guy can help us get better. And that's it. And you allow him to progress. And if Gino plays well enough, you don't necessarily have to hand the reins over immediately. You can go with Gino. You can let the kids sit. You can give a structure to a quarterback to fucking succeed. We didn't do that with Wilson. We didn't do that with Darnold. We did it with Pennington. We did it with Sanchez. Sanchez played right away, but Pennington came in and he knew the NFL game. He studied for 2 years before, more than 2 years. He went in, he was drafted in 2000. He didn't play until the 4th or 5th game of 2002. And he came in like he was a seasoned vet because he studied the game before having to apply what he learned. There's no harm in that. I would rather wait a year and let the kids sit and let them learn. And if Gino has struggles in year 2, okay, we can pass the torch and Gino goes back to being a vet. He's done it before. He's been the backup. He knows he's at a point. He'll be 37 at that point next year. Okay.
And he'd also be the perfect bridge because he's been here before. He knows what this rookie quarterback is going to go exactly through. He's going to know the type of questions. He can sit down with him and say, hey, you had a rough day of practice today, or they're going to ask you about this throw. Just answer the question this way. I think that's something we're not really thinking about, but in order to survive, because like you said, the second we draft a quarterback or trade up, they're the savior. They're the next Joe Namath. They're going to be the one that gets the Jets to the promised land. And that's a lot of pressure that kid's going to be on. And having someone like Geno Smith say, yeah, I failed here before. I learned from those mistakes. This is what you have to do to be successful in this market.
Oh, that's a great comment. That being said, expect Klubnik to start week 1. All right.
Is he?
All right, big fella. Take everything I said, crumple it up, throw it out the window.
I actually this is a good one for you, Nick. Do you think Klubnik beats out Zappe for the number 2 spot for week 1? And do you think he's active before week 4?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't think Klubnik would be a play away from playing. And I'm not thrilled about Zappe, but he's got starting experience in the NFL. And as of now, if we don't add to the room, Zappe's your backup.
Yeah.
And then Klubnik is your emergency quarterback, your extra player to put on the roster, but you don't activate him.
Yeah,
That's where we're at. That's the reality of it. You know, and they're bringing in all these weapons for the rookie mini camp. They're bringing in receivers. They're bringing in running backs. They're going to throw the playbook at him. They're going to see what he can absorb. They're going to see what he can do now that he gets the majority, if not all of the reps here, right? And go from there and bring him along. And the cool thing about potentially next year drafting the quarterback and having Geno there, Geno has a very, very unique situation. He came to New York as a rookie. He made some bad mistakes. He went through something no other quarterback has done, getting knocked out by your teammate and getting your jaw broken and losing your job and watching the guy go win 10 games and be 4 interceptions away from taking you to the playoffs, to then coming back as a veteran and a totally different human being and a totally different player and a total different mindset and outlook at the world and football and life. And now he can pass all of that knowledge that he's accumulated throughout the years on and off the field to the rookie. How to be a pro, how to handle yourself. Some of that stuff is invaluable, man. It really, truly is.
I also think he's got a chip on his shoulder because he wants to make it work here, number 1. And number 2, he's been hearing all offseason, oh, see, you leave Seattle and they go and win a Super Bowl without you. And you go to the Raiders and you get them the number 1 pick. You're good for something. And I think he had an unfortunate situation last year with the Raiders. That was just an S show. So I think he's motivated. And look, if he is even the 22nd quarterback in the National Football League, that is a lot better than we've had over the last couple of years. That's at least someone, if you can get this defense to the middle of the road, you can be in games and compete. And if you have great special teams, there might be a game you can sneak out here or two, especially with Banjo, who's done a great job on the special teams. I'm really curious to see what they do at the kicking position, the return game. But, I mean, they did a great job finding McNamara last year. Hopefully they can find that type of player again this offseason in the undrafted free agent pool.
Yeah, it's the thing that Banjo has to do, right? Find that long-term kicker.
Yeah.
And if you can fix Cade York, okay. If it's somebody else who wins the job, like if you can find us a long-term kicker, you found the returners, you had elite special teams, you have one of the greatest special team units in NFL history since DVOA was invented, right? We were top 3, I think, all time. Now find a kicker. You find the Jets a kicker who's making kicks to win games and get us to the playoffs in the next year or two, you can be a head coach candidate as a special team coach because you've done the impossible.
Right. And I think they're going to have a kicking competition. Hopefully they can find the right one. And look, I know a lot of people are upset when Nick Folk left, but Nick Folk gave you as great of a season if you could have gone out of him. And I don't think he could have repeated that next year. So I think it's wise for the Jets to try to get younger in that position.
Yeah, that's fair. Ricky with another super chat says, Nolan and Nick, do you think someone like Darius Slayton shakes loose from a now crowded New York Giant wide receiver room and the Jets still add another pass catcher? I'll let you go first. What do you think?
I don't hate it. I think that's part of what Muji has also done very well is he's been able to target rosters. Like, I wouldn't be surprised too. Like, I made a prediction that he was going to trade one of the 6 or 7s for a veteran. I wouldn't be shocked if before the season starts, he tries to do a late pick swap in the 27 draft to maybe get like a Brownlee type of player, a player that's been in the league for a year or two. They can plug and play him. They did it with Juwan Briggs. I think they're going to look and say, hey, you can cut this guy, but we'll give you a better pick. You want to go up into the 6th round? You give us the 7th, and we'll give us that player. Done. Like, I think that's going to be a strategy, but I'm always up to adding more pieces. You can never have too many pass catchers. You never have too many edges. So I think Slayton would be a nice fit. The other thing you have to consider, though, is would he be willing to take a little bit of a lesser role? Because I do think the Jets are going to want Cooper Jr. to get a lot of the reps, A.D. Mitchell to get a lot of these reps, and he might be 4th on the pecking order if he comes in.
Yeah, I don't think they go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going a youth route. You know, you got Taylor and Sadiq who are year 1 and year 2. Garrett's still young. You know, he's in year 5, but he's still young. Mitchell's year 3. Arian Smith is year 2. Cooper's year 1. And, you know, Isaiah Williams is another one. And Mays just pointed out, I think he has a bigger role this year in terms of your Brad Smith type of player, right? I know Cooper can do some of that stuff as well. And I'm sure we'll see some Jets and some things with him out of the backfield maybe too. But I love that it's not methodical. Round peg, round hole, square peg, square hole. Mm-hmm. You ain't going to know what we're doing. We're going to be throwing different fronts at you, different looks. We're going to have variety to our offense. That's something winning teams have.
Right. And don't forget Sadiq, he's going to line up a lot as a receiver. Like,
yes,
the Dustin Keller comp I thought was really good. He's basically going to be a faster version of a big Quincy Enunwa or a Dustin Keller. He can get out in space and block, but you don't want necessarily inline. So he's going to be peppered all over the field. Like, that's the thing I don't think people are really having rationalized with Sadiq. I think they're imagining that just traditional tight end. He's going to be probably lined up as a receiver or split out probably more than half the snaps than being an inline tight end.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the beauty of the mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Glenn spoke about night 1 when he's like, we're going to be able to determine and dictate what defensive personnel you're in. And then we can shift. Like I said before, you can go 12 personnel, and then you can shift and motion out and put Brees out at wide receiver with Sadiq wide and Cooper and Garrett. And now it's like, holy shit, we got to burn a timeout here. They just threw this at us and we're not prepared for it. And
right. Yeah. One package I'd love to see is improve the screen game, not just the Brees. Use Sadiq in the screen game. He's someone, you get the ball in his hands or one of these receivers with just a little bit of space, they're going to make people miss.
Yeah. Everyone is screen eligible, right?
Yeah.
Everybody who's not screen eligible. Like all of these guys can run.
Well, and Cooper's not only a guy that can run, he'll run you over. He's not afraid to basically like, you're a small corner. All right, I'll run you over. I don't care. He has that attitude, which I think I love about him as a player. And the thing too is, again, there's so much variety. Like, I think last year they were so limited because you didn't have a number 2. Mason Taylor was probably your best second receiving option, but he's a rookie tight end. He's trying to figure things out. And you have quarterbacks that can't go through the progressions anyways. Like that really was a big issue last year. And now all of a sudden you have a quarterback in Geno that can go through the progressions. You have all these different chess pieces you can move in and out. And like you said, I've been screaming for years. Why don't you line up Brees Hall as a receiver? Use him like a Christian McCaffrey.
The last time they did it, he had a ridiculous touchdown catch in Tennessee when we had Rodgers. And that was like the last time.
Right. Like, could you imagine? I kept saying this package last year, but could you imagine this play design? You have Brees Hall in the slot. You motion him before the snap with Braylon Allen or Isaiah Davis in the backfield, and you snap the ball. Imagine the options you can run off of that. Give it to Brees in stride. He's got a full head of steam going around the edge. You can fake it to Brees, hand it off to the running back. That's just think of the defense. They're just thinking, who's getting the ball there? And then all of a sudden, Garrett's coming across the slot or Sadiq's going up the seam. Like, it's going to create a lot of confusion, all the potential. And that's why I think I really hope Frank Reich got creative when he went to college. I know he's going to do a lot of 12 personnel, but I just look at all the fun toys the Jets have, and you're like, I can imagine using this. It's a lot of great options. And really, with Sadiq, I think Sadiq opens up this playbook so much. And if they can use him correctly, I'm curious to see how they will use it. That's my biggest fear is you look at sometimes like Kyle Pitts, they don't know how to use him. But if they figure it out how to use him correctly, especially early, Geno Smith's going to have one heck of a time. Because don't forget, last year his number one target was a tight end, Brock Bowers. I don't think he's not as big as Brock Bowers in height, but he's going to be looking across the middle of the field, and he's got two big tight ends that can make plays, and that's not even the receiver. So it's just a lot of fun.
And if the safeties want to cheat up, Cooper, Mitchell, and Garrett can all get downfield past you.
I mean, Arian Smith can maybe try a go route. I mean, maybe that will work this year.
You know what, man? I say this all the time. Me and my son drove out to Cincinnati, and the most beautiful pass play I saw the entire year was like a 23-yard comeback route that he ran, and Fields delivered it on time. And I said to my son, I go, if Fields just threw the ball more consistently and on time like that, imagine what this offense could be. Geno will throw the ball on time. So we can possibly see some fun plays, man, and something we haven't seen in a long time.
Right. And the other thing, too, is you have a defense that will keep you in good scripts. Last year, how many times was this team down by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter? And we wanted to be a run-first football team, but we couldn't run because we're down in the game. So it'll be better scripts. You can run more play action. You can be able to run the football more, which we know they really want to do with this offensive line. They'll be a much more balanced team because Geno can actually throw the forward pass, where all of our quarterbacks next year, the only one that could throw it forward was Tyrod, but he'd be hurt after 10 plays.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at one of the questions in the chat. Where is it? Where did you go? Dirty Smooch asked, what comp picks are we potentially set for next draft? None.
Yeah, because
we signed too many players.
Yeah. Which, again, I don't have an issue with. And especially this one, you kind of need the comps because you were going to be without the third rounder. I mean, next year you still have the 3 1s. I mean, that is a lot of capital going
that's
into
your
next
comp
year.
picks.
Yeah, that's your comp. So I was a little surprised. I did think Jamie Sherwood, if the Titans didn't draft a linebacker, might have gotten a call from Tennessee because, Robert Saleh's just got to build the infinity gauntlet with all the former Jets he used to coach.
Yeah, and Dable's bringing all the Giants. So here's the compensatory formula. The Jets are here on the right, and they lost 5, but they gained 7. Therefore, they don't qualify for it. So that's why. They lost Vera Tucker, John Simpson, Quincy Williams, Michael Clemens, and Nick Folk. They signed Demario Davis, Joseph Osai, Animata, Parham, Kingsley, Dane Belton, and Ashawn Wright. So they do not qualify next year for a comp pick.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the end of the world.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
They've still got plenty of picks. So
absolutely.
I did find it interesting, too. I did think Brian Thomas would be traded during this draft. I did find that interesting that didn't go through.
I thought Pickens was going to get moved when he signed the franchise tag an hour and a half before the draft started, maybe 2 hours before. I remember sitting down at the party, and like one of the first things I saw is George Pickens signs his tender. And I'm like, does that mean that they might move him this weekend? So if you were going to move him, you want to move him right away so you can get the comp now. You don't want to move him and wait a year, right? Like if you're the Cowboys and you think you can contend and you have Dak, you can't contend with Dak. But you think you can contend with Dak. They haven't been able to do in a fucking decade. They're not going to start doing it now. But it's fun when they think it.
I mean, I love one of the chats. We're already talking about the 27 draft. We've been talking about the 27 draft since 2025, it feels like. I mean, it's not that early. We actually now can talk about it because it's next. It's not a year ahead.
Yeah. It was a Tuesday in November when we got 2 1s next year that we started talking about it. So
Oh, yeah.
As well as we do this year or as bad as we do, it's going to be hanging over us. That draft is loaded, Maze. I know. This fucking guy makes me laugh. He's such a fucking troll, but he makes me laugh. I love Modine.
He's always good. Yeah, I'm trying. Where is the draft next year? I was actually just thinking
Washington, D.C.
Oh,
Drivable.
yeah.
Drivable. With
Or
3 1s? Yeah,
Yeah.
with 3 1s? Yeah. You take that Excella bullet train right down.
Yeah, I might have to take the train next year. It worked out
Where are
well
you?
because Connecticut, so I'm not too far. So
Nice.
it is funny. My good friend that's a Jet fan is actually getting married this weekend, so I couldn't make it, but it worked out well because I could still cover the draft this weekend too. But I can only imagine how many of his Jet fans were on their phones checking the draft today.
Dude,
So-
we load up. You know what? If we want to do it, we will get a bus. We will rent a bus. We'll get a luxury bus and get someone to drive us down and drive us back up and just have a good old time.
Yeah, it'll definitely. And also, I'm curious where they would do it in DC though. Like, are they going
They're
to do
doing
it?
it where they do the by the Capitol.
Oh, they're doing it at the
I
Capitol. I
believe
didn't know.
that's where they have the huge gathering area.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they do it for security reasons. So I didn't know if they had to move it toward like the stadium or something. Although I was saying, I know it will never happen again, but man, if they had the draft at Radio City this year, especially with the Jets and Giants, that would have been something. Like I know they'll never do it because they're trying to get hundreds of thousands
Central
of people.
Park, yes, not there. At the
Yeah.
stadium parking lot, maybe, but I mean, New York is more attractive. But they had it for so many years.
Yeah.
It's at the National Mall.
Oh yeah, so it is on the next. Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
It is.
That's going to be a big one. And how many people are going to come out wearing like like Uncle Sam hats or red, white, and blue?
When the Colts end up with the number 1 pick,
Oh
we will
God,
take over Washington.
yeah. Well, apparently
Who's
they.
their quarterback? They had Daniel Jones and they were losing, and now they didn't add to it. It's Jones and Richardson. Like neither one of those guys are going to be able to win.
Well, they have Riley Leonard, Notre Dame. Gotta love him.
He also played for Duke. Fuck that guy.
It's again, I'm also curious too, like what happens with the other first rounder because we're rooting for both. It's the Packers and the Cowboys, but it's the worst of the two. So we're both actively rooting for 3 teams to lose next year, which
We have an eighth of the NFL has an opportunity to get us the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and even still, they have the assets to go up and get a quarterback. That's the thing I also was saying to people about this draft. Everyone's saying you have the 3 1s. Well, if you don't get the number 1 pick, those 3 1s might disappear to become a number 1 pick or become a number 2 pick. So it's good to fill out the roster this draft. So if you get the quarterback, you're not desperate at other positions next season.
For those of you asking who's talking about the 2027 draft, Ricky is. Imagine 3 1s being a franchise QB, cornerback Leonard Moore, and edge Dylan Stewart to pair with Bailey. Jets could be a true competitor. Ricky, on the opposite side of it. Imagine trading 2 of those 1s, getting Sean McVay and letting him come in and pick the franchise QB of the future. Then you're a contender instantly.
That's I don't know. So let's get away from the Jets. What was funnier, the whole Sean McVay, Ty Simpson, or the whole thing with the Steelers and Mekhi Lemon with them getting jumped? Those were both hilarious. The McVay one, I just laughed because the guy's won you a Super Bowl. He's gotten you there a couple times, and you're going to make the decision over him. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, and real quick, where'd it go? For Boss Girl, don't forget Charles Gorman is driving the blue tank with Clemens and Sauce, and they are on a warpath to make sure we get the number 1 pick next year. So shout out to Charles for declaring his allegiance to the Colts. Now he's trying to walk it back, and I'm like, don't you dare. They were 1-8 since you declared your allegiance to them. We need you to stick there for 1 more year, buddy. You know what, though? The Vrabel story, the phone story, the McVay reaction. Is it just me? Or are these stupid stories starting to happen to other teams, and it's not happening here?
Yeah, and again, could you imagine if the Vrabel thing happened with the Jets? It wouldn't just be 24-hour news cycle. They find a way to get a 25th hour in. And my whole thoughts on the thing, I feel really bad because I've worked in the sports production industry. I've worked with great producers. I've worked with great reporters. There's so many great women in the industry, and they have to deal with so much BS. And I see it, and they work probably even harder than a lot of guys because they have to.
Yeah.
And just seeing what Diana is doing and just the reputation.
You mean who Diana is doing?
Yeah. Well, the crazier part of the whole story is I cannot wait until the Vice or the Untold documentary on this comes out. The fact that one of her sons is named Mike.
And the relationship was going on back then. If he became the Jet head coach next year. I made a comment earlier, and someone, I think Mike These Nuts asked, this behavior is a violation of the NFL coach's conduct policy. So if this comes out that this happened, he could be suspended for his behavior. So if they do it to players for their behavior, the coaches and the front office personnel are held to a much higher standard than the players.
Well,
don't be surprised if something comes down the pike.
Yeah, I hope so. The thing there's just this Patriot bias. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the respect that they have for the owner. I don't know what it is. They get away with so much BS, and it used to be because they won. Now it's who would have thought that we would have thought Bill Belichick would have been the last crazy story. Fun fact.
This is his mentor.
Fun little fact. I looked at the North Carolina schedule, and I've circled November the 7th because they're coming up to UConn to play. I'm gonna watch that game for the stuff on the field. But I just want to see how many times Jordan goes over to Bill and asks for money. Ask for something from the concession stand.
The relationship was over.
Is it over? I didn't think it was.
That's what I thought I heard.
That might just be a smokescreen from him. You never know. But yeah, the whole Vrabel thing, it's just such a mess. And the players must hate it too, because he basically said, yeah, I got to go be with my family on day 3 of the draft.
Yeah.
You can't go tomorrow. You can't go Monday. And you couldn't have gone 2 weeks ago and come back. It's just such a mess. And
it really is.
And I love Diana always saying, I don't hate the Jets. I don't hate the Jets. I'm starting to think, based on who your sources were, you didn't really like the Jets too much. Yeah. So
if this was a Jet story, like you said, the world would be burning right now.
It's going to be a great movie eventually. I can just see they do a combo with both Bill and with Vrabel. They'll call it Standing Pat or something like that, or At Attention with the Patriots. Something like that. So I just can't wait for that documentary. It's gonna be something. But I mean, look again, for all of Glenn's issues, I do think they've done a good job of not embarrassing themselves. I know the sleeping thing at the combine, but I don't really think that was the case. I do think it was the tablet. And for the most part, I think they've kept things pretty much in control this offseason. And look, I think they had, at the end of the day, a pretty good draft. They had an interesting pick with Cade. But again, don't forget, we have a Ryan on the staff now. You always have to draft someone from Clemson when there's a Ryan on the staff.
That's it.
We should have known that they were going to draft at least one Clemson player with Ryan here.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us were looking at the defenders early on in 1 and 2, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to stress the quarterback pick, Rich. I'm not.
No.
I'm not.
I think the thing I talked about, I think the thing people are more upset isn't the pick, it's the process. It's trading up. It just feels like the Tyler Barron thing again, and it's just one of those things. I think fans are frustrated. They're like, I was hoping Muji would have learned his lesson from last season. But at the end of the day, it is a 3rd-round pick. If they can get production out of the other 3rd-round picks, and I'm not saying be starters, but just the nose tackle they got from Florida State. If he's great early rundowns, has to come in goal line situations, great. If they fill out the 53 roster with these guys, that's what you want. And look, the floor for this team is so much higher than it was last year. I mean, remember last year, we looked at the pass rush depth. It was Will and Jermaine coming off an Achilles and Michael Clemens. It's a lot better now.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of news coming out of the NFL. 49ers GM John Lynch to reporters today about their plans for Brandon Ayuk. We're available. Give us a call. And like I said earlier, I think it's the prudent thing to do. He's an extremely talented player. He's been an extremely effective player in our league. Situation didn't work itself out here. That's not to say that it can't be rekindled somewhere else. And we'd be happy to do something with anyone if the opportunity presents itself.
That has been such a mess over there. I'm just surprised that.
And he drove by the stadium at like 100 miles an hour at one point.
Yeah, that was an idea. And the hard part now is it's after the draft. Like where are we talking? 27 assets teams. It's too late at this point. You had to get this done before the draft, or you're not going to get it done till at least trading cap at this point.
Yeah, Cisco, good point too. That clip of AG sleeping was while Bailey was running. They knew they were taking him, so he didn't need to see it.
Yeah, he was comfortable enough. He let his head hit the pillow, knowing that his dream had come true for an edge rusher. So we'll say it that way. So.
Well done. Rich, I thank you for your time. Go ahead. I got your link pinned for everyone. Please go subscribe to Rich's channel if you haven't already. Go ahead. Plug what you got going on.
Yeah, of course. So we did all the draft content over this weekend, my thoughts and reaction. I have a very interesting video up on the channel right now. The top 25 Jets draft busts of the last 25 years. And guys, please watch it. It took a lot to get through that. A lot of tears, anger, frustration, maybe a cocktail or two on the tough nights, but it was painful.
I got to predict something. Mo Dean's going to say, make it a list of 33 and add these 8 guys to it also.
Probably. But
stop typing, Mo. I know how you think, bro.
Yeah, it was a very big list. I think some people are going to be surprised with the placements, some of the players that I have on there. Again, it comes down to production. It comes down for how long they were on the team. Weirdly enough, Elijah Moore was highest on the list. He was in the 20s in terms of bust, because even though he's there a year and a half, he actually produced compared to the other second-round receivers, which was horrifying. So it is a well-thought-out list. And has arguably the worst Jets draft trade in there as well. Like, let's see if you can think which one I'm talking about.
In the last 25 years, the worst Jets draft trade, trading up for Dwayne Robertson.
Bingo.
Easy.
Guess who they could have taken at 13?
Kevin Williams.
That, and also Troy Polamalu was in that draft as well. So, again, that also was part of it. Who was on the board? Like Victor Hobson, a great example. They took him in the second round, right? You know who the other half of the building wanted? Anquan Bolden. You know, only 13,000 yards, 82 touchdowns later. Yeah, it is a deep and painful list. So, again, if you've stomached a lot of Jets bad football, I highly recommend checking it out. And again, lots of off-season content. We'll be going through all the off-season, lots of great stuff on there. And of course, a lot of draft breakdowns. So again, thanks for having me on and hope to have you on soon, Nick. Again, great show as always.
That'd be awesome. Real quick, if you go to 12 days ago, the thumbnail is NS/DT. I had Dylan Terraman on. Mm-hmm. We did a draft of the best players drafted by the Jets. We put rosters together in the last 25 years from 2000 on. So the opposite of you.
But you know the negative sells best.
I'll watch yours. You watch mine. We cover all ends of the sky. That way, I don't have to do the bad video. I'll watch yours.
Here's the difference. You probably had trouble getting to 25. I had a problem keeping it to 25.
We couldn't do a full offensive line. We could only do 3 on each team because there wasn't more than 6 good offensive linemen drafted in the last 25 years.
You didn't get Brian Winters in there?
No Brian Winters. Who else?
I mean, we know it's not Vlad Ducasse. We know it's not Dozier.
I thought I had the picture. I think I just shared it one day. I didn't upload it. But Rich, I appreciate your time, man.
Of course, man. Have a great one.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, buddy. Be good.
You too.
All right, folks. Again, we got over 100 of you in here right now. I appreciate that. Oh, just dipped under. Don't go anywhere. Let it get back to 100. NFL draft weekend. We have a raffle going off Mother's Day night. 2 prizes that night for you. Fantastic Jets fans for sitting through 8 months of draft content from October on when we knew our season was over. It's been quite interesting. But on Mother's Day night, we have a Don Maynard mini helmet. We have a winner's choice raffle as well. So $5 super chats and up, get you on the list. Again, I've been drinking a lot more fluid at the doctor's orders, so I will be right back. Let's do this first. Unpin and bang. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make the call line shine. I'll be back. We'll take your calls, but you know the deal. It's a Blitz BK break. Baby, baby.
Yo. Engines roar when the jet takes flight. Green lights glow in the Jersey night. Skyline lit when the squad ignite. Gangrene rolling, yeah, the jets take flight. Yo, every show we bring the jets all through, the speech is clear. Real fan talk, we survive rebuilding years. Seen quarterbacks come, we seen them disappear. Still solid with my team, no bandwagons here. Green stitch to my fibers, won't switch to the Niners. Quick like Vic, I see victims in my visor. Jets gloss is heavy, but the pride is never left. Stood 10 toes down when the season felt like death. New season feels like fresh air. New OC and QB, man, I always love the fresh pair. Like the man Jordans that I'm rocking with my Jets gear. Hoodie but no cap out, never play it off, but we gotta get the Jets there. Let's share ideas for this team for this next year. It's fair to think we'll do better in those big chairs. Shit, yeah, hire Dream Bean to run this shit here. Take this playoff streak and make it disappear. Engines roar when the Jets take flight. Green lights glow in the Jersey night. Skyline lit when the squad ignite. Gangrene rolling, yeah, the Jets take flight. Jets take flight.
Absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you this. The third version of the Nick Shine Show, Season 3 Nick Shine Show entrance song is done. Waiting on Gator to put a video together with it, and we'll have that for you guys. Hopefully by the end of the week. Maybe by Sunday night. I know Gator's got a lot going on, all the draft coverage with helping out Jake. And then the Asmaniac tournament comes to a conclusion this week. Good luck to everybody. Be an interesting time. But call link is pinned, folks. I want to share something fun. Because I'm a Jet fan and I'm a Yankee fan, how can you not enjoy this image? Oh, where are you? Do you know what this picture is, folks? This is John Henry, Sam Kennedy, and Craig Breslow exit the team hotel in Baltimore after a historic shakeup for the Red Sox. I love it. Burn it to the ground. Love it. Let them be the dumpster fire they deserve to be up in Boston. Awful people deserve awful teams. Not us. We deserve a great team. May said, Nick, did you see my post of the last 10 fourth-round draft choices? It is not pretty. I did not. I am riding the wave right now. I will probably wait maybe till tomorrow before I start looking at the downside of what this could be. I'm going to enjoy this feeling while it lasts. As someone who is sober for over 3 years, I am going to enjoy this temporary mental high that I'm on and then let reality set in tomorrow. And yeah, there we go, Kyle. They're due. I love it. We are due. We're absolutely due. All right, ladies and gentlemen, questions, comments, super chats, gifted memberships. Let's get this party going. Call in link is there. Until that, it's question time. What do you guys got? What are you guys thinking? What's on your mind? What up, Curly? Again, thank you to everyone in the chat. We still got about 90 of you. Oh, we got how many likes? 90, exactly. I know, Curly, you just got here. Hit the like button. Let's get over 100 here. Just like Boston Red Sox are going to get over 100 losses. Oh, is my mouse dying right now? Yep. We got 3 left. Thanks, Charles. Charles just shared in the Discord about Boston Red Sox. Thanks, buddy. One of my biggest supporters. Shut up. You don't even watch my show, you weirdo. One of my biggest supporters. Your belt is one of your biggest supporters, Chuck. See, I'll talk that shit. He's not here. We'll never know. None of you are going to tell him. Eli, what up? Your hot take was that Jets fans would be happy after the draft. How do you think your take aged? You want me to assess my take on assessing the fans' reaction? I think the first 4 picks are absolutely terrific. I think you can question the positions they didn't attack, but I think you can find the logic in why they didn't attack them or why they feel that way. They got 4 linebackers on roster. They got 5 safeties now on roster. So I'm not going to stress that much. But if you can get the best pass rusher, you can get the best tight end and what I think is the best weapon overall in the passing game in Sadiq, then you trade up and get Cooper Jr., who's the best at the yak and his physicality after catching the ball and his ability to break tackles and go. And then you bring in Pons. I don't know how you can't like that. And then in the 6th round, you go and get a massive 6'6", 35-pound guard who's got a nasty mentality. Another guy named Cooper. You can find things to like, but Jets fans don't do that. They'll find the one thing they don't like and they will fucking cry about it in every chat for the next 6 months and beyond, because that's some of their mentality. There's a lot to love, not even like. There's a lot to love about this draft. Let's hope they all bring it together. Looking for your questions in the chat, folks. Throw a question mark at the end of it. If you throw a question mark at the end of it, StreamYard tags it as a question. May says, I am thinking Klubnik was high in that Jet room. What do you think of the player? I got to be honest with you, Mays. I mentioned this earlier on the first stream I did when we traded up for the guard, when we traded up for Cooper. I don't watch much Clemson, so I don't have any feedback on him. I know that he was highly rated coming into the season, but so was Aller, so was Sellers, so was Nussmeier, and all of them fucking collectively laid a massive egg. So I'm not going to pretend to know much about Klubnik. I'm going to continue with what I've been saying and what I think. I think that they think that they can fix some of the flaws in his game. And with Musgrave and Reich, I'll give them a little bit of the benefit of doubt. I don't expect him to be a starter. I don't expect him to be a franchise quarterback. I don't ever expect him to be the man. I expect him to be clean every time he walks off the field because he's been holding a clipboard and an earpiece in his ear the whole time. That's what I expect. If he can be a spot starter, a middle reliever type, give you some starts and some quarters here and there, that's a fine little career. Can we see the 6-minute Chuck video from today when you go to pee? I don't have that video. I do have another one that he sent me, but he never gave me any context why he sent that to me. But why don't we ask him? Why'd you send me that email video?
Because you were watching my second one and my first one with Jake Asman.
Yeah, but that's a third video, or was that the first one?
The video I sent you was my third and hopefully my final copy.
Yeah, it's not.
It was a lot
copies.
shorter than the first two.
Stop trying to pre-plan it. That's not your strength. You know what your strength is? Being you in the moment. You're not a prep a video guy because now you're thinking about what you want to say instead of just living in the moment. You want your advocate to go. Do I have to go get the dress shirt, Charles? Do I got to be the advocate here on a Saturday night?
No.
Here's what you do. You call in and see where it goes. Gary gets under your skin, you unleash. You want to be fucking outrageously funny? Do it. Don't plan anything. You never plan anything when you call in. You just call in to say what's going on, and then the call goes where the call goes. Live in the moment, Chuck.
Got it. Yankees just won, by the way, 8-3 over the shitty Astros.
Say it again and make it sexy.
The Yankees win over the Astros 8-3. The Astros continue to suck this year. Yankees have outscored in their last 8 wins 50-something to like 14, whatever the hell it was.
Very sexy. Very sexy. Explains the virginity. Where are you at? The apartment?
No, I'm at my parents' house. I'm staying over the night, and I'm going to have dinner at them tomorrow.
Nice. Tell everyone I said hello.
I will. I also watched. I didn't watch. I caught up with the Knicks game. Knicks won too, so they're tied at 2 games apiece.
Yeah, not for the negativity. Come on, we're celebrating the Red Sox getting fired. We're celebrating the Astros.
Why is that a
losing.
negativity? There's a lot of people that are Knicks fans.
Not here, Charles. Wrong channel. Learn your environment.
Oh, I'm sorry if you despise the Knicks with every fabric of your being.
It's a 40-year thing. I think I've put enough time in to enjoy what I don't enjoy.
You never really, because your friends are Knicks fans, that's why you hate them? Whatever.
Why do you hate things that you hate?
There's legitimate reasons for it, not the way you
Why
think.
can't I have those? Why do I get judged for having those?
I never said you can't dislike them, so mine are more legitimate than yours.
All right.
But with that being said, I did enjoy the Jets draft.
Favorite
I
pick?
definitely liked the Ponds pick. That was a very good pick.
Okay.
I'm finally glad the Jets got an offensive lineman in the later rounds.
Yeah. Another guy named Cooper. They took 2 Coopers this draft.
Yeah, the offensive lineman from Miami.
Yeah. Big boy, Charles. Big
Yeah,
boy.
he's over 6 feet and close to 340 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be a starter this year, but who the hell knows? He may be a backup. But do you think there's a possibility that offensive lineman the Jets drafted could be a starter this year and Joe Tippmann gets moved back to center?
I think they'll go with the best 5. And however that plays out, that plays out. I think they're okay going in with Parham and Tippmann as guards, Myers at center, and only making that one change, the upgrade from Simpson to Parham. However, if somebody steps – and don't forget, everyone wanted a center. There's 4 guys on this roster that can play center. There's Myers, there's Parham, there's Tippmann, and there's Newman. They have 4 guys that can play center. So as much as everyone's screaming they want a center, they have 4 of them already on roster. So
That's very
I'm
true.
not going to stress that.
That's very true.
All
That's all I
right.
got to say, Nick. I'm sure you're having a good show.
Thank you, buddy.
Have a good day, okay?
You too, pal. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Nice little surprise call from Gorman. I didn't pick up that he was at his parents'. I wouldn't have made the virgin comment. I don't know if you saw my face when I realized it. There's a couple questions I wanted to get to before our next caller, real quick. Curly Norman, do you think with these draft picks, this puts us solidly fourth in the division? Yes, Curly. Kel says, hey, Nick, which player in the later rounds do you think may surprise us? Cooper. It's the guard Cooper. I think that this is a guy who could long-term be a starting guard for us. I think he's got the size and the power. He went to a big-time program, went up against big-time competition every day in practice. Billy says, why draft him if you don't expect him to be a starter? Because not every quarterback becomes a starter. There's only 32 of them in the world. Not everyone is meant to be a starter. Some are okay being career backups. That's their ceiling. Some are really smart guys who can absorb the playbook and help teach the guy with more talent. Those are roles in the NFL as well. Eli, of all the drafts in the past 20 years we've had, how would you rank this? I know it's early, but it's got to be a top 5 draft. No, it's got top 5 potential. With 5 for the top or 4 of the top 50 picks, it has elite potential. But we got to see how it comes together. It's way too early to tell, but I think there's a lot of potential there. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, a rarity. He wasn't the first caller. Let's go to Kyle. What's up, brother?
Hey there, Nick.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm not going to belabor the point. I actually like the draft on the whole. And, I like some of the later picks. I think Cooper is fine. I think Inez Cooper. I think that VJ Payne is good value. I don't necessarily care for the trade ups in day 3, but all this means to me is that they really like Klubnik, and we should treat it like they like Klubnik so much, and we should hold them to account, right? So I don't mind. They're going to like who they like. They should go get who they like, but we should hold them accountable. That's my only thing, because there is.
Do you think it's disappointing if Klubnik just becomes a backup this year? Like, do you have any expectation of Klubnik taking the starting job from Gino?
So here's 2 things that you said that I'm going to push back on.
Okay.
Right. I don't think that you draft guys to be backups, right? I think you draft guys to be starters and they become backups, right?
Okay.
And if you think a guy, his ceiling is a backup, I think they get taken accordingly, right? Like, you don't spend top of the 4th of the capital on them. I think it's more probably middle of the 5th back. And that might be just the way I feel about it. The other thing is, yes, we have a number of starting centers on the roster, or guys who can play center on the roster. I don't like any of them really as a starter. I like Tippmann as a guard. I like Parham as a guard. And, I think there was an opportunity to bring in competition there, and perhaps supplant and maybe even move Myers or Newman off the roster. And that's what you kind of want to do with those day 3 picks early. And the same thing with like a guy like Mike Washington, right? Like Braylon's been hurt. He's been a little bit underwhelming. You bring in a guy like that, and then all of a sudden he's in a competition. He's got to prove it. And that's kind of how I felt about it. Like it seemed like there was a little bit of opportunity cost. Did they have Kilgore higher on their board than Payne? How much higher, right? If he was higher. Like that's the kind of things that you're thinking about when you're sitting there at 103, at 110, whatever, and you see a guy that gets taken at 110 that you probably are thinking, well, I kind of expected him to go a little much later. They must really love this guy. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's just you know, there, it's not unusual that my vision for the team is different than whoever the regime is. But I just didn't think it was terrific value. My personal opinion.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to address something not football related. Mays reported the White House Correspondents' Dinner was tonight. There was a shooter there. Secret Service took him out. 7 or 8 shots fired. President was rushed off. Is okay. Mo Dean says, Mays, I reported it an hour ago in here and they ignored me over arguing over club. I saw the comment and I removed it because I thought you were just talking from Butler, PA. I didn't know that it was something happening in real time. So I get it. Real world shit happens. We're not a political show, but sometimes real world shit happens. And that seems like it's something serious, but the shooter apprehended. Unfortunately, shooter not neutralized. So that was me, Mo. I removed it because I didn't get the context of it. I apologize. Back to your regularly scheduled football debate.
Yeah, I mean, I was totally unaware. So, and I went out to dinner with Clifton Jr. because the girls were out at a soccer game in Brooklyn. And
Brooklyn. Sorry.
But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I'm not going to belabor the point for that much longer. There's nothing we can really do about it. I do like what they're doing in UDFA too. Like, it's time to challenge Cade York. It's time to challenge Hennessy. Like all these guys. Like, this is going to be one of the younger teams in the league next year, and at the same time, we want them to be stood up and ready to go once we get our quarterback. So let's get going.
Did you see who the Titans brought in as a UDFA?
No.
You know who that is?
No, I don't know who that is.
Big Papa Pumps your hookup. Holla if you hear me. That's one of the Steiners.
Really?
Yeah. That's Scott. I believe that's Scott Steiner's son.
Really? That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
This was a great weekend for us. I don't want that to get lost.
Is this real? Vanderbilt UDFA Diego Pavia is signing a 1-year contract with the New York Jets. 2 hours ago from Brandon Howard.
Oh boy.
Fucking what the fuck is that on? Oh, that's never mind. That's not the Jet B Raider thing. Disregard that.
That's all I had. And my favorite pick was Cooper Jr. at the end and I wasn't a Cooper Jr. guy, but I thought it was good value to go up and get him from 33 with 179 to 30. That to me, that's a tremendous recognition of value and going to get your guy.
Yeah. I mean, we loved night one. It wouldn't have been my choice, but I love Pons, the player. You know how much I wanted one of the linebackers or McNeil Warren. I love those prospects.
Right.
I really like Pons, but I loved those prospects. So I'll root. Listen, he's got the jersey on now. He's wearing our colors. I will root for him to an immaculate level. I hope his career goes to the stratosphere, but wouldn't have been my choice. Not when you brought in Wright, not when you brought in Fitzpatrick. You traded for Brownlee. You drafted A.Z. Thomas. You're putting a lot of guys back in this secondary. I would have fortified the front seven with a legitimate linebacker to grow and develop under Davis. You have Davis here. Why not get a guy and I know everyone says I'm always too positive and I'm always everything the Jets like. Now that the rush of the draft is like dying down, I wish that we would have got C.J. Allen or Hill or or even taking a flyer on someone like Lander Barton later on, who I liked because of his size, like to play next to CJ. That would have been two massive linebackers. And I get it. You can't overturn the entire roster in one offseason. And maybe they think that if Demario Davis is there, they can get better play from everyone else because they'll be more prepared. Quincy was a run and hit guy. Sherwood wasn't the brains of the operation. He wasn't a middle linebacker his whole life. He was a safety. He was converted from safety. So Davis is the guy that maybe his knowledge and maybe being with him day in and day out in the meeting rooms, in the weight room, to dinner, whatever, locker room time, teaches them all how to be better players and how to be better professionals. And maybe that is the value in Davis long term. And I can't undersell that, because if we value quarterbacks being mentored, why wouldn't you want the quarterbacks of your defense to be mentored? So we'll see.
That said, if his 38-year-old wheels fall off, we're screwed.
Minkah Fitzpatrick will have to play middle linebacker and call the defense.
Very good, Nick. I'll talk to you later.
Be good, buddy. Oh, wait. How'd your daughter do in the soccer game? Let me know in the chat. How'd your daughter do in the soccer game?
She still got a splint on, so she basically, this was more like I think it was a party. It was like one of the Brooklyn Pro teams, the women's pro teams. So, but she'll be getting back with her team shortly. She's probably got another 2 or 3 weeks in the splint. But
gotcha.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
She feels better soon, buddy.
Be good.
Take her out for pizza. She's in a splint. She needs some pizza.
That's right.
All right.
Bye.
Pizza cures all, buddy. See you soon. I actually stopped on Friday. Friday? Yes. I was supposed to do the show at 1 o'clock, and I delayed it a little bit. I didn't tell you guys this. I stopped to get from a really good place in town a white slice. I hadn't had a white slice in so long, and I was craving it. And man, it hit. I was sitting outside. It was nice weather, and I'm eating a slice of white pizza. It hit the spot. Very good. If you're ever in Woodbridge, there's several good spots. Benny's Pizza has a good slice. They make a really good white pie. I think it's the best white pie slice in the area. Yeah, Ronald, I agree. Mo, I think the shout out to Kyle Clifton. The inside-outside value of Pons is more intriguing because that's somebody they don't have. You can put Brownlee and Minkah on tight ends or big slots, but those speedy guys, you need somebody like Pons to cover. And if Pons can then develop into an outside perimeter guy with his size, you take that. Indiana All-American safety Lewis Moore is signing with the Dolphins. I saw Daniel Meehan in here earlier, our resident Dolphin fan. And we got some veteran action going on in the NFL. Not like Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, but former Browns tight end Tyler Pezza is signing with the Ravens. So that's something to keep an eye on too in the next couple of days, folks, is that veterans who've been out there and held in limbo, waiting for post-draft to see teams that have needs. And maybe we go get a linebacker. Oh, let's do that. Let's pull up the available linebackers. I think someone in the chat asked that. I forget who it is. Maybe it was Kel. I'm not sure. All right, top available linebackers. Oh, not in the draft. Free agents, baby. All right, here we go. Spotrac, what do you got? Ooh, it's ugly. It's available. All right, those are. You got Bobby Okereke, Logan Wilson, Levante David, Do you bring in Bobby Wagner, who will be 36, and team him up with Demario Davis? Matt Milano, Devin Bush. All right, so there's some names. Shaq Thompson, Preston Smith, Zach Cunningham, Jerome Baker, Jermaine Pratt, Chris Board. You got a lot of older guys, 29, 30, but they'd be a lot younger. So nobody that I'm completely saying. I mean, maybe Okereke is the best out of the group. And maybe you sit on this and you wait, and maybe you trade Sherwood post June 1st, whereas Capit's only 2.5. I see you. Stop your shit. I have two callers in the back right now. One I do battle with quite often here on the show. The other one I do battle with in real life because I'm trying to raise a man. I bring in Nick Shines, little Nick Shine.
What up? What up?
What's up, son?
Nothing. I was about to eat some food, and then I saw your YouTube, and I was like, I'm about to call in real quick.
How's your day at work, buddy?
I didn't have work today. Tomorrow.
Oh, you went to
Sam's cheer club, yeah.
Contest. How'd they do?
She got first place, and then her other team, she got third. And then for the team that she got first place, they got like the best score out of like the whole thing, I think. It's like a grand champion for like their division, I guess you could call it.
What did you eat?
I didn't eat nothing, bro. It was expensive. A small Dippin' Dots was like $8, and they had banana split. I wanted it so bad, but I got to save my money.
Good boy.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say real quick that I'm proud of the Jets for once. It's inspiring to see this team come together, and hopefully Geno Smith balls out. He has the weapons. So
you were raised right.
Yeah, I guess we'll see when the season starts.
I see you shaking your head back there as I'm talking to my son.
What up?
What's up, Little Shine?
How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. So you happy with the draft today?
You have another Shine to argue with. I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I like that guy from Clemson, the QB too.
Klubnik?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Klubnik.
Yeah.
It's a dice throw, so whatever happens with Klubnik.
Yeah, that's true.
Good comment here from Bill. Did Nicky just call his dad bro? My dad would have kicked my ass.
Bro, yeah, my dad would definitely not stand for that.
I would forget boots. It was belt to ass.
Yeah. Like, I'm not your
You're
bro,
lucky,
bro.
Nick. You're lucky, buddy. You're lucky you got a cool dad.
I appreciate it.
This may or may not have to do with the fact that he could probably kick my ass with how big and strong he is, but
no, I feel like you still got me.
What do you need? What do you want?
I'm just joking with you.
How tall is he? How tall are you?
Like 6 foot.
Hey, you still got him. You got size.
But he's dude, he's solid. He's 220. He's muscular as hell.
Yeah, but he hasn't taken a punch yet, though.
I got a slap from an old guy.
He did. Did you catch that story or no?
Yeah, I remember.
I was about to call Rick Kent on him.
Whatever happened with that? Remember, you said
I went there. I knocked on the door, and this old guy in suspenders answers the door, and I'm like, "Hi." I'm like, "I understand there's a confrontation out here the other day with my son." I go, "Was that with you?" He's like, "Yes." I go, "Mother." I'll text you the photo. He's an old guy in overalls, and then as I have the phone set up because I didn't know what I would be walking into, so I had my dash phone set up to record, but I didn't switch the audio to the earbud that I had because I wanted to record everything. I had to turn into the responsible adult and like lecture this guy. I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, you're lucky my kid like didn't punch you and knock you down or hit you in the chest. He could have killed you. Like, what are we doing? Like, if my kid was a lunatic, he could have beat you to death."
What was the reason? What was the reason why he put hands on him?
Nick? You want to tell the truth this time?
This time.
I was speeding.
Oh, through his neighborhood?
Yeah.
This guy lives down the dead end. Nick was in his car. His girlfriend was in her car. And they were going down the dead end of his street. Why would teenagers have to go park in a dead end when you drive past your own house? We know the answer. Charles doesn't, but the rest of us do.
They were praising the Lord, bro.
We were reading the Bible together.
Exactly.
Oh,
Bible
son.
study. Bible study at the end of the street, bro. Come on, stop playing.
Yep. All right, well, I'm about to go eat my food. All right, I'm gonna still watch your show though. How long are you on for?
I don't know, man. I did 2 hours earlier. We're almost at
Oh,
2.5 hours now. I've done about 15 hours of shows, or maybe more now,
Yeah.
since
Wow.
Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I took off a couple days. I figured, what the hell? Let me ride with this. I appreciate everybody for showing up, supporting the channel. All right, Nick.
when's your
hit the
next
like
show?
button. Next show's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
All right, I don't got work tomorrow. Wait, never mind. I do. Tomorrow's Sunday.
I'll see you in the morning. I'll be there. I'm gonna sleep in. I'll call you when I wake up, but I'm planning on waking up and then coming down and seeing you and your sister and my buddy Teddy.
I'm gonna sleep in too.
All right.
All right. See you
Don't
later.
leave the house when you wake up.
Okay, I won't. Have a good one. See you later, Black Gypsy.
Later, Nick. Love you.
Later. Love you. Bye.
All right, sir. Take that. Take
Shut.
that family moment and shit all over it with your takes.
Nah, yeah, you get super cool. I don't have no crazy takes. Like you already said it. You just won't admit it out loud. Like you were very surprised we didn't take a linebacker. That's all I said. Like everybody is like, oh, relax. I'm like, I'm relaxed. The draft for me is a A- B+ draft. Like I'm super happy with our draft. I'm just very surprised we didn't take a linebacker because we have an old linebacker core and two guys that's kind of like sucky. So
Yeah.
I
saw a tweet today that said, I forget who it was from because I was at work. And the tweet, I don't know if it was Connor Hughes or Connor Rogers. And it said that the Jets were going to take Rodriguez. And when
Miami
he
stole
went,
him.
they traded back. So they were going to go, but I guess they didn't like Allen, Hill, and others.
That's crazy that they let Allen and Hill pass when you have Sherwood and Kiko on your staff. Like that's just nuts. Sherwood and Kiko were never at Allen or Hill's like stature. Like never thought to be that. So it was just weird. That's the only thing I got from the draft, that you didn't get a linebacker. But
yeah, we're
if
the
you're happy,
opposite of the Giants. My buddy said at the draft party the other night after they drafted Carter, he's like, we're gonna have to run a 1-6. We're going to have to run a 6-1. We're going to have all these guys up front and one guy behind it. It's going to be a Pop Warner defense. Just send everybody.
so it makes it kind of predictable on third downs. If first down and second down, you're stopping the run in 3-4 or 3-3-5 or whatever formations they're going to try and stop the run from. When it comes to third down, you know they're going big nickel. So it's big nickel zone, big nickel man. Like, who's going to be playing linebacker? Because you can't have Sherwood and Kiko in there. Like, one of them has got to come out.
Yeah.
So, like, it's going to be interesting. Do you want DeMario in the middle of a big nickel in the pass play?
No.
So, like, that's my thing. Like,
I'm envisioning Sherwood and Brownlee.
I don't feel comfortable with either of them at linebacker.
I know.
Like, I want a true linebacker. Rodriguez, Hill, Allen, they were true linebackers there in the draft that we just passed on. So I was like, ugh. And I'm looking at it just from a defensive standpoint, not by the player. Like, formation-wise, when it's third down, 5 wide, like, who do we put in? When they go split backs, who do we put in? Like, are we staying in the 3-4? Are we going to go big nickel? Are we going to go 3-3-5? In either of those, like, Davis isn't, like, really suited for that. You need somebody younger and faster, so. It's going to be.
Every mock I did had a
linebacker
in the front four. At the first 4 picks, I had a linebacker, whether it was Allen at 16 or Hill, Rodriguez. I mean, they're trading up for Styles, trading back from 2. It all featured a middle linebacker at some point. So
who's
I
the
get
linebacker
it. If they didn't have the other guys valued that high, We don't know their board, but the rumors are they wanted Rodriguez. They were okay with a middle linebacker, but they weren't okay with the other guys. So for whatever reason, it didn't fit what they want to do. And
we could have came up and got Allen. Who's our linebackers coach?
Dan Bowling. He was with the Texans.
All right. Well, if a
I
good
think
coach,
it's Bowling. Brian or Dan? Hold on.
we picked him up this year, right after
Ben
firing
Bowling.
everybody.
Ben Bowling. He was the assistant linebackers coach for the Texans, joins Aaron Glenn's new look staff. His background spent 5 years with the Texans, who over those 5 years developed a lot of linebackers, rookies coming in, playing at all-pro level. His hiring, the context, his hiring was part of a major defensive staff overhaul under new leadership, which has included hiring Ryan Slowick for safeties, Ronald Booker, defensive assistant, nickel, and Colin Bauer, defensive assistant. He replaces former linebacker coach Aaron Curry.
So we got Bowling for the okay. All right, I didn't know that. That's not bad then, because he's good at nickel defenses. He's good at setting up blitzes from. All right, that should be interesting. We'll see what the playbook looks like. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy, Doug. I told my girl, she was like, "It sounds like you're."
She's very skeptical that you were happy.
Yeah. She knows normally I have something to be like, what the fuck, bro? But like, see, this is the thing. Like, we all have our hopes of players that we want to get, and then when we don't get it, we lose our shit. I agree with Kyle. We could have waited to get Klubnik. We didn't have to go up. We could have stayed in our position. Why they went up, they need to tell us, or they're not going to tell us, and we can debate it and talk shit about it forever. But it's one of those things.
That sounds like more fun anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things that took a draft that was like, you're being graded very well on this draft. Just throw something in there to be like, that could be an F. Why would you take that F on purpose? It is what it is, but we did it. It's over. I just want to see what we do now. I have a little bit of hope in Reich, you know what I mean? By the players that he picked. It shows that there's something creative there that's not the same old that we're used to.
And I heard your call earlier on, Jake. I was listening when you called in, and I was pleasantly surprised with your take with the weapons they've added, with where the offense could be from where you were a couple weeks ago. So kudos to you for coming around to it. I think the potential's there. And if Geno shits the bed, you can't say we don't have talent. So
no, Geno's
all on Geno.
He's going to shit the bed, but it's expected. So he's going to throw 10, 15 interceptions, but he might throw 30 touchdowns. I'll take that, bro. Like, once you can give me the touchdowns, like, I'll take the interceptions. Like, if we have a defense that can do anything at all, those interceptions won't turn into points. I mean, if not, they'll turn into points, and then it'll be a disaster. But we'll see. We'll see, Doug. Now
a little basketball news real quick. Dante DiVincenzo diagnosed with a torn right Achilles tendon.
Oh, Minnesota, right? That sucks.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Happy the Knicks came back and won.
Listen, leave your negativity for other shows, okay, pal?
Gang, bro. Shouldn't have even been there in the first time, but I'll take it,
You're
bro.
right. They shouldn't have been in the playoffs.
I'll take it wherever I could get it. I told Nate, because me and Nate had this argument last year that when we hired the head coach, that we have to get past where we were last year for the season to be a success. So
I remember that argument.
Yeah, so the second he started losing, I'm like, yo, Nate, it's your fault. I don't care what you say. If the Knicks lose, it's your fault. I'm blaming it all on you, bro. You were all for this coaching change. Like, now, we have to beat Atlanta. Like, you can't lose to Atlanta, so like, you just can't. So it is what it is. But yeah, happy about the Jets, dog. I mean, gang.
Yeah, let's go, bro. We need some dubs. We'll talk soon.
Deuces.
Shout out to Adirondack Fly Guy for gifting a membership that went to JMUL 7287. Folks, we're winding down the show here. Reminder, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on the Nick Shine Show, we will have live for the first time on this program, Frankie V and his victory lap. Be here for it. We'll get Frankie's takes. We'll see what his thoughts are on them drafting Bailey. It should be an entertaining program. I'm looking forward to it. I am going to put together a very good list of questions. If any of you who are in the Nick Shine Discord have some good questions, DM them to me. Serious questions only. That's a great, I like that. I came up with that idea that he's coming on the show to take a victory lap, and I was like, oh, we have to do this. I love the roses being thrown at him. The signs on the side, that was an AI touch based off of the description that I put in. Oh, man. My eyes are dry. I took a 45-minute nap, and I didn't take my contacts out, so they're dry. And this fucking giant umbrella light in my face. Folks, I appreciate all of you guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We should be over 100 likes by now. What are we at? We're at 104. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Last call, super chats, gifted memberships, call-ins. My buddy Ray, who was at the draft the other day, or to the draft party with us, I want to see Gorman and his brother in a flan eating contest in the near future. I will financially support it. Hey, Siri, text Charles.
What do you want to say to Charles?
Hey, my buddy Ray, who had the Geno Smith jersey on the other day at the draft party, wants to fund you and Eddie having a flan eating contest. Are you guys in? Question mark. Hugs. All right. I sent it, Ray. You know what I got? Kyle Clifton and Peter Pins were with me the other day. And after we traded up for Cooper, I'm happy. Like, and you guys know, I eat clean. I eat grilled chicken. Like, I don't eat anything bad. And I go, waitress, got a dessert menu? Yo, I had deep fried cheesecake wrapped in like a cinnamon roll thing with fucking Kyle Clifton and Peter must have looked at me. Charles says yes. Right? He's in. Nothing else. Yes. Oh, we'll make it happen. Only flans. Who did that? I'm looking. Well, that's the part of it, to be sarcastic. Well, Charles won my vote over then today. And then Charles asked, why does he want to fund us, though? He wants to buy the flan, not give you money. I'll send you his Venmo in a little bit, though. You can request it. All right, folks. 69 of you watching. Nice. All right. One last question. Gator asked, if Geno goes down, who do you want to see at quarterback? Let's say week 3. The kid, Tyrod, another vet, free agent, who? Well, Tyrod's not on the team right now. He's a free agent. As of right now, it's Bailey Zappi. Can that change? Yes. We have a lot of time. We could pick up another free agent. We can make a trade. We can pick someone up off the scrap heap come August if they get cut from a team. I think that's too soon to tell, Gator, but as of today, I think Zappi is your QB2. He's not great, but he's got starting experience in the NFL, and you would go with him. But, folks, set your alarms, set your calendar, your reminders. Tomorrow night, Frankie V's Nick Shine Show debut, 8 p.m. I appreciate everybody. We didn't send them packing, but I am not allowing him to play. There's no way I'm allowing him to play. Oh, what about that? The first one to throw up wins. Not loses, wins. That means you ate so much so fast it just came back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am exhausted. I'm going to take 2 melatonin and I'm going to sleep in. There's no rec sports tomorrow. I am going to enjoy not having to do anything until nighttime. I'll sleep in. I'll go see the kids and my buddy Teddy. Teddy's the kid's dog, for those of you that don't know. And enjoy a lazy Sunday. Maybe come home, smoke a cigar in the garage, and then do a show at night. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank all of you for your support as always. Spread the word. The Nick Shine Show. Let's see where we're at. We're at 2170. We're up 25 subscribers the last couple days. Welcome to all the new subscribers. If you're watching now and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Would be great to get to 2200 this week. Let's do it. Do it. Do it, or else we'll have Charles come raid your refrigerator, and nobody wants that. I know I feel if you guys want to drop your what did we learns, go ahead. I feel like so empty doing it without Boom. I'll be honest. My heart hurts. You know what we need? A beast bone.
That's what she said.
That's not edited. I'll keep saying that. He did that without missing a beat. Kudos to Beast for that one. Great timing.
Now let's go to What Did We Learn Today, courtesy of Nick Shine.
Folks, NFL Draft 2026 is in the books. Undrafted free agents are being signed as we speak. What did you learn today? We had multiple shows at night. Thank you, everybody, for all your support on the channel. The super chats, the gifted memberships, being members of the channel, liking the videos, the positive feedback that you give in my chat and others. I do hear about it. I do see it sometimes. I appreciate you guys. You guys are tremendous. I'll gift the membership myself. Thank you guys. All right. What did we learn? Modine, I learned the Jets can't draft past round 1. Man, I mean, the Jets can't draft past round 1. That's how I'm going to read your comments from now on. Oh, mine went to Mike Perez. Kyle Clifton. Is this the guy? This is Mike that you ran into? So Kyle Clifton was on the way to the draft party, and he told me Mike Perez, I believe. The fuck is Gorman requesting $10 from me on Venmo for? So Kyle Clifton ran into, he's at Newark Penn Station going from the path to get on New Jersey Transit, and he runs into Mike Perez, who flagged him down. Hey, Siri, text Charles.
What do you want to say to Charles?
Call into the show again and explain this. God damn it. Just when I think the show is going to end. I can't even say what I want to say because he's at his parents'. Chris, I learned our Jets added a lot of character, leadership, speed during draft, etc. Chris, I thought I already followed you on Instagram. Did you re-request me this morning. I didn't know if that's a burner account or if that's you. Let me know if that was actually you. Playoffs? What's up, Dream? Let's see. I'm looking for more. What did we learn? Appreciate you guys for all being here. Like I said, the draft is over. The tension is gone. We can breathe. Paul says, cheers, guys. Good night. Ray says, I love this draft. Go Jets. You got to give him time. Remember, folks, he doesn't watch the shows. Occasionally he will. But now he's got to open up YouTube and then get into StreamYard. You got to give him a minute. Okay, Chris, I got you. I'll accept it. All right, I'm going to play a video. If Charles calls in to explain this, I'll stop the video and come back on. But if not, thank you. If you're one of the 215 who've watched on X, come over to YouTube, subscribe to the Nick Shine Show. If you have, thank you. Means a lot to me. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evening. Draft articles will be out. Breakdown videos will be out. If you are in the Nick Shine Discord, share them. I love that stuff. I will lay down, kick my feet up for the next hour. Hopefully be sleeping by midnight. But drop all of your draft footage that you find in the lobby. And let's hope we got some Hall of Famers. Let's hope this is one of those draft classes that change the direction of this ship and put us on that path to victory. And we load this roster up with talent, and we bring the quarterback in next year, and we are a winner year after year after year. We got the trenches. Now we got some serious weapons. We got some beef up front on defense. We got Will and Bailey with speed. It's not a perfect team. Yes, we have some places we can be exploited, but that's where scheming, personnel, design, play calling comes in. You want to have a superpower? Keep Demario Davis healthy. I wish that was your superpower. All right, he's texting. I don't want to text with you, Charles, at 11 o'clock at night. Call into the show or don't. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nick Shine Show. I am your host, Nick. You are the awesome chat. Have a great night, everybody. God bless. Go Jets.
Here we go, baby. J-E-T-S, Jets, 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 let's go, baby.
It's got beef.
Gentry covered in football. Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, so get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Yo. Engines roar when the Jets take flight. Green lights glow in the Jersey night. Skyline lit when the squad ignite. Gangrene rolling near the Jets take flight. Yo, Every show we bring the Jets all through the speeches clear. Real fan talk, we survive rebuilding years. Seen quarterbacks come, we seen them disappear. Still solid with my team, no bandwagons here. Dream stitched to my fibers, won't switch to the Niners. Quick like Vic, I see victims in my visor. Jets loss is heavy, but the pride is never left. Stood 10 toes down when the season felt like death. New season feels like fresh air. New OC and QB, man, I always love the fresh pair. Like the man Jordans that I'm rocking with my Jets gear. Hoodie but no cap out, never play it off, but we gotta get the Jets there. Let's share ideas for this team for this next year. It's fair to think we'll do better in those big chairs. Shit, yeah, hire Dream Bean to run this shit here. Take this playoff streak and make it disappear. Engines roar when the Jets take flight. Green lights glow in the Jersey night. Skyline lit when the squad ignite. Engine rolling, yeah, the Jets take flight. Jets take flight.
Good evening. Welcome to Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm your host, Nick.
When the blitz comes, there's no one to block him.
It's 10 o'clock, get ready for the showdown. 9 toes down, Nick, ready for the throwdown. We proud Jets fans, we don't play with them pronouns. Best roster in the league, we playing with the pros now. They tell us slow down, call us delusional, call us losers as usual. But this season will be beautiful. Shotgun with you know who, but run it instead. Let Hall hit the hole hard.
That's what she said.
Ground and pound like it's 2010. The chat, we got many friends. Johnny wearing hats for super chat and watch him breathe again. Nick put the link so Bobby can call and speak again. Bonesy did the blunt, I got the weed and pens. We speaking green again. Jets news like it's CNN. A-Rod and Charles Gorman, it's like we seeing twins. Feeding tins, pounding on these bleeding fins. We 14 and 18 when they needing wins. They ain't seeing them. We run the ball and play defense. This is AFC hell where other teams repent. Ladies and gents, welcome to MetLife. This is Jet Life. We bleed green, this our best life. We just nice.
Let's say what's up to everyone. Good evening, everyone. Normally, this is the part where I go into a monologue about the Jets. I got to address something first. There's been some shit talk out there about this program. Don't talk shit about my family. They're my family.
And this just in, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, get ready for this new showdown. I call it the anytime, any day throwdown. Nick Shine, kill these clowns till they make no sound. They lose weight, we feel great when we burn these pounds. We all know that jet green make the earth go round. Another rookie head coach, another first go round. We bleed green, each fiend hope this team win now. And twist dreams in the DP where my beats are found. Shiners unite, knock the lights out of midnight. We go show for show, goon for goon. We can fist fight, I rip mics. Clemens and Williams, all the dislikes. Bunch of Jets rappers out there, they ain't this nice. I did this twice. Got a sick addiction, so the green and white's my vice. I gave it blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, I paid my price. Many years on the flight, no prescription, but I need a championship in my life. Yo,
For as long as I'm alive, I got your back.
Hey, Shiners. It's a party. My house. Discord party.
Let's got beat.
yo, we at Sean's crib about to turn up. Music bumping, party jumping. Please someone fill my cup. We greet each other. Merry Christmas! And let the Jets suck while Bobby yells at Stanley. Shut the fuck up. Then Gary intervenes and tells them don't be mean. Eat a stick of butter every day and you'll be lean. Then Santa runs off. I hope we left some gifts because Bobby scared him off. He's on the naughty list. This whole party's lit. Nate Clancy, many more, we hardly fit. And Addison and Weed bought that Marley spliff. I lick on my lips cause old Jenna G make my heart beat skip. Damn Charles Gorman, was that how far you ripped? Too much egg in your the hot dogs and chips. Now I want my dip. Tell me where the hell is Santa? He ran so quick. I checked the bathroom and oh shit. With Denmark Andy, Santa, Rudolph. No wonder, Rudolph. Andy, you promised me you wasn't gonna do that no more. Oh my God. Nick is gonna kick us out of here.
A playoff team? Playoffs? Thank you for the super chat. Andrew C., The Dream. Appreciate you guys. Hey, we had to play. We had to show some love to Blitz. And like I said, there's another great one on the way. I love Blitz's music, and I played one, and I'm like, oh, I'll play the other one. No, I'll play the other one. And we do that occasionally here on the show. Blitz, you're the man. I love when you're in the lab. Keep up the great work, my friend. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Again, you are the man as well in your own way. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. God bless. Nick Shine out. Jets playoffs?